figured, like just like that. You know what I'm saying? Who's going? Who's going to
Dude, I think the audio,
the audio,
dude. Right
came
when you
back
said
on.
that, the audio just turned on.
The audio just turned on. The audio just turned on.
Hey, listen.
Bro.
Listen, one of us didn't say it, so it's okay.
Yeah. Listen, guys. Listen. Look.
What the heck?
We cool.
All right, so they got
You
the
didn't
audio.
say
It's
it.
gonna be laggy as hell, but I think the Zoom meeting is gonna end, so that kind of sucks.
Yeah, no, that's.
We'll
Fuck Zoom,
resume, I
dude.
guess.
Hold on. Wait. I got.
I wonder if we stop this and start it over. I know that would suck, but
It would suck. Fuck.
I apologize to all of our viewers. We are having technical difficulties.
Yeah, I hate
How's
saying
it going,
these things, that
Cosmic
just
Wing?
sucks.
How you doing?
What's up, Cosmic Wing? How you doing today, buddy?
How are we doing,
how-
everybody?
I'm saying, I hope you all doing great. Even though
It's crazy to think it's 10 o'clock American time.
it is, I don't really feel. It doesn't feel like 10 o'clock, honestly. It feels like 7 to me.
Don't
Why
spend
was
that
that
for me.
I hate this.
I forgot. Whatchamacallit this time is way ahead.
I don't, because I don't know if I end the meeting and restart it, I'm gonna have to configure the whole put our faces back on the boxes again.
Yeah, it's true. I think you let the timer run out, see what happens.
Great idea.
Multi Studios.
Genius
the bugs.
idea.
Hey man, listen. Sometimes my genius is scary.
We apologize, everyone, for the technical difficulties.
Yeah, true. It's all so hard being handsome and literal gods. So sometimes technology isn't up to our standards, so it's a bit of a pain in the ass.
That layout looks so cool, though.
Oh, what fan film you doing, Cosmic Wing? What are you up to? Just chatting to one guy right now. It's just me.
All right, we may redo.
Ooh, yeah. Hold on. Yeah, definitely.
Also, just for preface, Sean, I won't say what it was on, but the previs for that thing actually turned out really solid.
Cool. I'm excited to see that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, me plugging in my headphones made it so we didn't have audio for some reason, so that's kind of stupid.
Yeah,
So you're just doing headphoneless now?
Yeah.
All right, cool. We're back on. We got a couple more people. What's the script, man? I can't tell you what the script is. It is a surprise for later. But I will say it's something really fun, and we're getting some big stuff going with it.
Hello, Victor Kid. How are you?
Sean says we only have 5 minutes left.
Yeah, I hate this. I'm gonna figure it out.
You hate this,
hopefully.
actually?
Where does it say that? Oh, okay. Hang on. I see now. I'm trying to figure out a way that I could
Yeah, chat. Did you know that you had to get a
did you?
premium Zoom to record? Stupid.
That is really stupid.
It's called Spider-Man with a break.
Oh, cool. I love
That's dope as
Chameleon.
hell.
Chameleon's always fun to put in stuff.
I respect that. I respect the Cosmic Wing. I'm a tune in. I'm a lock in like this. You know what I mean? I'm lock in like this.
Can I give you a hint on what it is without spoiling anything?
It's really horny. It's very horny.
Yeah, it's super horny is what it is. Just
It's
two guys going at it.
It's
It's
a
a
very-
great shot today.
It's like smut. It's an erotic memoir from Peter.
No, I think I believe Sean. If it's there's stuff going on. It's in the old Buckeye Studios that it's pretty fun.
There's a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna have a big announcement on New Year's of stuff that we're the 2023 short films that we're doing.
Someone asked when might the
Okay. I'm just gonna pay for Zoom for 1 month and just uninstall the subscription, so we have unlimited time.
My boy.
Oh,
Okay,
you
all
rock,
right.
man.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Coming
Stream's
Sean
officially
W.
underway.
It was only
All right, yeah,
$15.
Let me
It was
go.
worth it.
Let me go ahead and really promo. Let me go ahead and really drop this. Let me go ahead and get everybody.
Yeah, drop that promo. Real quick, Sean.
Yeah.
If you want someone to put some money towards that for you, I got you. Just send me your
All right,
I'll send you a bit.
It's no biggie. I don't mind.
Okay,
Sean,
so
you and I work
Really
all the time. I'll buy
quick,
you
now
some
that we're
donuts.
officially started, the Zoom is gonna be really laggy. The stream, it might be my connection, it might be my computer. I'm not sure, but it's gonna be super laggy. So I'm sorry about that, guys. But I hope the audio is at least good.
Very true.
yeah.
Very true.
worst case scenario, we got a podcast. Anyway,
Right. Exactly.
So we are officially starting now. Sean, we'll probably timestamp this in the description or the comments when
I think
this thing is finished.
I'll put one in the description once we the first timestamp is gonna be technical fucking difficulties, but everything else will have some good stuff.
All right, ready and now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the official live stream of the Spectacular Spider-Verse. My name is Eric Elliott. I play Peter Parker / Spider-Man, and I am the head of TLS Productions. So, to my, how does the layout work here? To my left, I think. Did that work?
No,
we
I
have
think it's your right.
Sean. It's my right. Okay.
Yeah.
To my side, I have, and you introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Sean Bickamer. This is, the creator of Buckeye Studios and stuff. We're doing Dead No More, and happy to be here. Happy to be part of this Spider-Verse, and we're just, happy to talk about our stuff. Let's do it.
All right.
That's all I got.
Peter and Sipho, you guys want to introduce yourselves?
You got it.
My name is Peter Hervel. I play Otto Octavius, the Superior Spider-Man. I just released a short film called Log Date 1, a Superior Spider-Man fan film. I am in the Spectacular Spider-Verse, and I do cinematography for Buckeye Studios, and also I guess I was Harry Osborn for a bit there as well. Now, Sipho, it's all on you now, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the newcomer to the Spider-Verse, as just announced yesterday. My name is Sipho Naksana. I am playing Miles Morales, a.k.a. the Ultimate Spider-Man, in my upcoming film, Spider-Man Morales. And as stated yesterday, couldn't be more excited to be a part of Spider-Man and the Spectacular Spider-Verse. It's crazy. I know probably the way we announced it, there's definitely going to be a lot of questions. Can't wait to answer all of them and fill you guys in on this Miles and his world and his characters and how he ties into everything. Very excited. It's going to be crazy. These are my guys for hard. Like I've known them. I've started really talking to them for the next few days. Love like family. Like this is crazy. We're doing something special. Y'all gotta lock in for real because y'all can't sleep on Spider-Verse y'all just can't sleep on this rule. Y'all just can't. And if I catch y'all sleeping on it, it's gonna be a problem. So everybody just lock in and show as much love and support as possible.
Couldn't have said that better myself, dude.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate that.
Love having you on, buddy.
I'm excited to be here.
Someone's very happy you said Miles. Braden, the filmmaker, said he's very happy that you referred to Miles as the Ultimate Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's for sure.
Someone said the Spider-Verse's current villain is the Lagger, which, haha, you're very funny.
That's very...
I'll give it to them.
I also apologize. My computer camera doesn't work, so you're just stuck looking at the amazing artwork done by Wens of Otto.
All right, so somebody asked earlier, when is the Spectacular Spider-Verse coming out? I assume you're talking about our film Spider-Man and the Spectacular Spider-Verse. There's no release date on it yet. We got to get the other projects in our Spider-Verse out. Like before we see Spider-Man the Spectacular Spider-Verse, we're going to see Back to Basics. We're going to see Dead No More. We're going to see Spider-Man Morales. We're going to see Spider-Gwen. We're probably going to see the 2 next episodes of Superior Spider-Man. And when that is out, then I'll be releasing Spider-Man the Spectacular Spider-Verse. And I know it sounds like that's a really big gap between things, but within these next few months and for 2023 as a whole, you guys will be getting a lot of content. I can confirm that both Back to Basics and Spider-Gwen will be dropping in 2023. And Sean, you just revealed the other day that Dead No More is literally coming out in February.
February 12th, the actual 5-year anniversary of Retribution, which is really cool.
That's and Sipho and Peter, I don't want to speak for you guys, but I think it's pretty fair to say that both Morales and the next 2 episodes of Superior Spider-Man will likely come out 2023 as well.
Oh, so absolutely.
Really, I can't confirm that. Give me 2025. No, but it's gonna be on that.
I was gonna say I'm not. So I was gonna say so at the most, while I don't have an official release date, Spider-Verse will probably be released late 2023, early 2024. Because once we finish Back to Basics, we're working on Spider-Gwen and then Spider-Verse in very quick succession. There we go. Also, we have 45 minutes of Spider-Verse already shot. So
right. And what I'd like to also add on to that is when it comes to Morales, it's a feature length, so it's going to be over an hour. But I would like to say that just because it's a feature length, I would not say to expect it to take forever to film. I'm going to just go out and say there's only 2 action sequences in the entire film. It's very much a character study. It's very much focusing on what makes Miles Morales who he is, and what he finds in being Spider-Man and what he finds to fight for. And and I think that is the best part about it, because after you got the main big trilogy of Eric Elliott's Peter Parker, and you got him building this massive pantheon of Spider-Man characters, and then you get this little small subsection tale of another kid similar to Peter Parker who's trying to navigate his way through the world while trying to figure out what it means to do the right thing. And I think it's going to be very interesting. I think you guys are definitely going to enjoy it.
We're getting a lot of questions. Let's go.
We are.
I love that.
The next question is, how far are you guys into Spectacular Spider-Verse? It's been put on hiatus just because I want to finish Back to Basics and Spider-Gwen first.
Fair.
We got to wait for all of your guys' projects to come out. But we do have about 45 minutes of it shot. This is a good question. This is one that I really want to answer. Braden the filmmaker asks, is Spider-Gwen the same Gwen from Power and Responsibility universe? I assume not, just because it's the same actress. Spider-Gwen is not from the same universe as my Peter Parker. It is the same actress playing her. Emma will play both Power and Responsibility web series Gwen and Spider-Gwen. The only, out of our entire Spider-Verse, the only two spider people that exist within the same universe is my Peter and Sipho's Miles.
Yeah.
We both come from Earth 514. Spider-Gwen, I forget what Spider-Gwen's Earth number is now. I can't remember it. But Sean's universe is, hold on, give me a second to remember this out. 923, and Peter's is Superior Spider-Man's is 1913.
1913, like the movie.
Yeah, I don't remember what we officially dubbed Spider-Gwen's universe. But yes, the only two spider people that exist within the same universe is my Peter and Sipho's Miles.
Full show. Quick question that I definitely want to answer is, Eric, doesn't your Back to Basics movie already have Morbius, but in the Morales film he has his own Morbius? How will that work? I did talk, with this new universe collab, and of course, visions. Of course, there had to be a bunch of talking. Eric had already come out and said that, though he did have Morbius originally planned to have a cameo, he, decided not to go through with it. I'm not going to explicitly say why. It's not in my it's not in my jurisdiction too. But what I can say is, I guess you could say since we're in the universe, I guess Morbius still does exist because the Morbius agenda never dies. But nonetheless,
Morbin time around.
I always with Morbius, it was one of those things where he was in Back to Basics originally, but due to some just like script contradictions and just fixing it up and whatnot, we ended up cutting that scene entirely. So the one scene that Morbius was in was cut. But I always kind of picture that Morbius,
man. What the hell is wrong with you?
I know.
I had to pick up the pieces.
I'll say
cut
it here.
Him out at the height of his power.
I'll say it here right now. Morbius is no longer in Back to Basics, but like he still exists within the web series universe. Like he exists probably during Back to Basics and things like that, because Morales will take place after Back to Basics. It takes place after Back to Basics and before Spectacular Spider-Verse. But so Morbius, he already exists. He already exists. It's just the one scene in Back, and like for all we know, maybe him and Spider-Man already fought. Who knows? But only time will tell. But that scene in Back to Basics has been cut from the movie.
Just to do a real quick answer, someone asked, I believe it was Josh Bamford, how many episodes of Log Day there will be. At the moment, my current plan is for 3 episodes of Log Date, each kind of spanning different aspects of Otto's character growth and kind of leading into his eventual kind of role in Spider-Verse. Part 2 is going to be filming next year, and I have cast for it and everything, and then Part 3 will be kind of this big lead into aspects of Spider-Verse. But yeah, I plan on doing 3.
Cool.
I'm going to quickly answer this from Eric, or Erich. I'm so sorry for mispronouncing your name.
Hey, Eric Lloyd's, man! It's our Jack actor! Hey, Eric, watching. How's it going, man?
What's up, Eric? Loved you in Best Enemies. You're my NIGGA. I don't want to get us banned on YouTube. Other than Eric's Peter showing up, is there anything else that will connect Morales with Eric's movies? I do have little sprouts and, little bits and pieces, lots of Easter eggs. sprinkled
Stuff
on.
you can't spoil.
Yeah, I mean, I can talk about the Power and Responsibility Easter eggs for sure.
That's fair. Yeah, that's already out.
Yeah, that's been out for almost like a year now. That's actually insane. But nonetheless, I can talk about the Power and Responsibility Easter eggs. There's an Easter egg to the Sinister Six. AJ does make a joke about Doc Ock, and when it comes I wouldn't say Morbius. No. I wouldn't say Morales is very self-aware, but I do poke fun at the idea that nothing surprises anybody anymore. Like when Miles is like, "Holy shit, there's a vampire out there!" Like the person, when he goes to his friends about it, none of them care because it's like oh, we just had like 6 dudes out there fucking up New York. This is pretty much day-to-day life. So it's like I think that's part of the fun of it because since we already have a pre-established Spider-Man, plus we had Captain America and knowing that the Avengers exist, it's really cool to poke fun at the universe that we have in there. So there's definitely a few Easter eggs. Not going to spoil any other characters from his universe that are going to appear because it's going to be a surprise. I'm not going to spoil anything in any cameos period, but just know there are going to be a few little surprises. Definitely just to make it feel like it's a part of that bigger universe. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited.
It's from what I've read. I feel bad, Sipho, because you sent me the most recent draft of the script like 5 days ago, and I'm only like halfway through it.
I sent you to it on Christmas Eve. I don't. It truly. I can't be mad. I mean, that's like how am I supposed to be mad at you? How am I supposed to be mad at you? Like, fuck your family. Read my script. Like, nah. Enjoy Christmas Eve with your family, man.
Also, Sean, there was a comment that talked about like I know. I'm not sure if I like speaking for Peter and Sipho here, but I know me personally. You know more about cameras and gear than I do. There was a comment in the chat that asked about like
camera.
Yeah, what's a good beginning camera?
Sean, you and I essentially had the first because I know the three of you shoot on 4K at the moment. I shoot with a Nikon DSL like 53,000, which is more affordable than the cameras those three have.
Right.
And I shot with a 50mm lens initially and like a Rhodes mic, and that's not too hard to do.
Honestly, that's a very good starter setup. Like the starter setups that me and Eric both had, the Canon Rebel T5i and then the Nikon D5600, something like that, with like a 50mm lens, or even using the kit lens is a very good starter kind of.
It's a good way to branch up
to use exactly.
Log Date was shot like partially on my camera, partially on Sean's, set to 1080.
Yeah.
And like so that is a great camera. One more thing on Log Date is Multiversal Studios asked, so like with 3 episodes of Log Date, it's going to be similar to a 3-act structure to a film, even though it's a series. Not entirely. Log Date is less of like Dead No More and Back to Basics and Morales are very much movies. They're very much structured like movies with like rising tension and everything, and really good. I view Log Date more as these snapshots, log dates, if you will, into aspects of Otto's like character and life and his views on different things. Like without getting into spoilers, part 2 is going to dive into Otto's view on relationships, whether it be Peter's relationship with people in his past or Peter and Otto's both conflicted relationship with the idea of Spider-Man. So those are more in the sense of like these very short character studies versus like film stuff.
Mm-hmm. I will say, me and Peter and Sean have been talking about the Superior Spider-Man series for so long.
What's up, man?
Yeah.
I know Peter's told me in great detail what happens in each of them.
Same.
And you guys aren't. You guys. No, it's not passive aggressive.
I know. I'm messing with you.
Yeah.
Peter won't shut the fuck up about these Log Date things. No, keep going. Sorry.
But I was gonna say if it comes out anything like he's been pitching it, the next 2 episodes are going to be absolutely incredible. The story only gets, with every episode, it gets crazier and crazier, and more interesting, and more thought-provoking, and more intriguing. He's done a really good job planning out Otto's journey throughout these 3 log dates leading up to Spider-Verse, because they all 3 of them lead up to Spectacular Spider-Verse, and I couldn't be more proud of him, because it's just genuinely incredible work, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. There's 2 questions here I want to address. One is, in the BTS of the film, it seems that Sean Spider-Man is punching a criminal wearing something that looks like a demon mask from the PlayStation games. Is Mr. Negative the main? Is Mr. Negative appearance, or is he the main villain? I won't say who the villain of Spider-Verse is. I'm not going to say that I'm not going to say that until Back to Basics is out, because we reveal it in Back to Basics, and it's something I've been keeping secret for a very long time.
Right.
I will say that Mr. Negative does appear in Spider-Verse, and that was Mr. Negative that Sean Spider-Man was fighting in Spider-Verse. But Mr. Negative is not the main villain of Spider-Verse. And I like this guy who oh yeah, and the other one I was gonna address is just wondering in Power and Responsibility there was a cameo from Miles. Will Sipho be playing the same Miles that appeared in Power and Responsibility, or a whole new Miles? He will technically be playing the same Miles that's in Power and Responsibility. He's just recast because
got the Edward Norton treatment.
Because that Miles moved across the country, so we can't really get him anymore.
It's
and
Dom.
He swings by where I live occasionally.
Dom, I love you.
But it's not enough to like make a film with. So Miles has been recast with Sipho, and Miles' story will continue.
One thing I'd definitely like to add on to that is one thing in Power Responsibility, his cameo. Eric, I mean this in the least respectful way possible, but with how you put it, how you wrote Miles, you with the last interaction he had with Spider-Man, he was like, keep doing the right thing, Miles, and he swings off, and Miles looks off hopeful, and I was like, man. How can I crush this motherfucker's dreams? How can I just make him? I was like, he planted the seeds for Miles, following in Peter's footsteps. I was like, man, what can I do to truly just deteriorate? What can I do to just make Miles like the anti-Spider-Man for the entire movie? And I think this is the first time I've really talked about why Miles becomes Spider-Man, but the film is really about the death of Jefferson Davis, which is heavily inspired by the PS4 games. He doesn't die in the sort of super gigantic way of a suicide bomber. Rather, just taken he was still a cop, but he was shot by an armed robber. And Miles, the entire time throughout the entire film, he's grappling with his whole standpoint on hope and morality is being just juggled with, because the person he looked up to the most, his own father, who he thought was a real life superhero, was taken from him. And the man who gave him so much hope, who wanted to give the world so much, he aspired to make the world a better place. He was taken away. Meanwhile, the man who, killed his father is, behind bars getting 3 meals a day, protection by the police, even though, of course he's in jail, but, the police still protect him. He gets to walk, he gets to see another day. And I really wanted to tackle that morality and sort of Miles juggling and to realize, why, and especially he plays in his Spider-Man, because I think this is probably, and bearing Otto, because Otto, he's a pretty angry dude nonetheless. He's, as Peter, when Peter and I were talking, he called him a bitter winner. He's a pretty angry, I think if we're talking like, just regular everyday Spider-Man, bearing Otto Octavius, I think Miles definitely has to be the angriest before, Sean getting the symbiote in this. I think that mainly just because rather than his rage being amplified by a suit or, his own guilt, it's more of just like, nah, fuck the world, fuck the people who took my dad. I'm taking them down on everybody. I didn't call you Siri. And it's like, it's going to be really interesting to see how we deal with that dynamic, especially, like I said, before writing the script, I rewatched Power and Responsibility. I rewatched it like 3 times. I can't lie. I've seen Power and Responsibility like 4 times now in total, and because I truly wanted to make this not only feel like it had like weight in the universe, but as well as give Pete not only like make Peter and Miles' eventual comeuppance as a team truly feel rewarded, because these are 2 people who've come down the same path and had the same experiences. And they both share, of course, they have different standpoints, I'm not going to lie, but they both share that ideal of wanting to make their city a better place. And I think it's going to be really interesting to see how they get there. You guys are really good. I think you guys are really going to like Milan. Like, trust me, like it's going to be. As
someone who's read the scripts, I can tell you guys that you are in for an absolute treat.
It's incredible.
Thank you, man.
It's incredibly well written. Also, just to dip on a question in the chat, I answer for anyone else, but Log Date, there is some plans for licensed music. Specifically, My Way by Frank Sinatra is going to play a part in one of the future log dates to an extent.
That's cool. That's cool.
I can already see how that would be used, and that's fantastic. There's somebody who keeps asking if I will die, and Sipho will take over as Miles.
No spoilers.
So yes, I will die. I die in the first 20 minutes of Back to Basics.
You get Joel.
Green Goblin finds
he gets hit by a car,
and he beats my head in with a golf club. So Back to Basics is
right.
all
and then
but,
that's what
I'm
that's
joking.
That's when I come in and I pee on Peter Parker's grave, and I'm like, "Fuck that nigga, I'm Spider-Man." And I just and then I just go. I take care of business after that.
Yeah, but no, I'm joking. I can't tell you whether Peter Parker lives or dies in this saga or not, or my Peter Parker at least. I can't speak for Sean's. No, I can't tell you whether he lives or dies or not.
Exactly.
But I will say that we are doing the PS4 approach, where Peter and Miles coexist together, and it's not like a sidekick relationship. It's like purely a partner relationship. Like they work together. They are both Spider-Man, which I think is the best approach to take with both those characters.
I'm going to speak on the licensed music real quick because this is something I've really been wanting to speak on. I hinted at it in the group chat with you guys, but Spider-Man Morales is completely set. The backdrop, I mean, it's going to have a score, but the backdrop of the entire movie is set to Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers by Kendrick Lamar. Reason being,
that's so good.
That's great. I think with the art that Miles goes through of letting go of all these eternalized emotions and sort of how Kendrick talks about that throughout the entire album, it's very. And certain songs have a lot of weight and certain different meanings for what Miles goes through. It's been very fun to sort of choose what songs I think would go where and here and there, and I'm very excited. That's one thing I'm going to do throughout my entire trilogy. There's going to be every movie is going to have an entire album that says the backdrop. And, for this one, I chose Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Very excited. You guys have no idea how much weight I think it's going to hold. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Man, that's sick.
When does Miles Morales? When does Morales take place, Sipho? Sipho. I'm sorry.
You go.
Sipho. Yeah, my bad, man.
Yeah, no worries. Morales takes place.
Sorry. I'm to it.
I'm gonna. You beat me to it.
Yeah, someone just asked it in the chat. I'm so sorry. I should have.
I was trying to bring it up naturally in conversation.
Okay. Well, no, Sipho. Well, you
I mean, I was just gonna say it takes place like maybe like a month or two. Really, not too long, because when Miles. I'll say this. When Miles becomes Spider-Man is before the events of the film, but it's not too long after the events of Back to Basics. I'll just leave it at that. And I won't expand on that any further just because spoilers, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's two questions I want to answer real quick. One is by Josh Bamford and says, what is the cause of all of these different Spider-Man variants being taken to the same dimension? I can't reveal that. That is a big spoiler. Well, me and Sipho already exist in the same dimension,
right?
So we're chilling, and then all these other
Sean and I.
It has a lot to do with Subway and $5 footlongs. I will say that.
It is time traveling Toyota. That's what brings us into the universe.
Time traveling Toyota creates
it's a three-way. It's a three-way crossover. You guys aren't actually ready for it. You think it's just our channels? No. We're bringing the whole extended universe.
Yeah, the villain is the polite hitman.
This is a great question of what are the inspirations you guys used for this film? I won't be the first one to go, but I'll throw to you, Sipho. What's an inspiration for like Morales and kind of like what you base not only your style of like writing and directing, but kind of the character off of? We'll all go in order for this.
Yeah, for sure. Let's all take turns.
Portrayal wise, I'll say since I'm playing Miles, the 2 or 3 actors I'll definitely say I took heavy inspiration from it's mainly 2: Daniel Kaluuya and Andrew Garfield, both of my favorite actors.
The goats! Oh my god!
Dude, those guys rock. Daniel
cool-ass actors.
Both are Spider-Verse actors now, aren't they?
Yep, that's the best part. And Daniel, I'll say the roles I took for inspiration from Daniel Kaluuya are Slim from Queen and Slim and Chris from Get Out. Both are two
underrated classics.
It's a really good movie. No, you're fine. No worries. I get it, and trust me, I would have said the same thing. It's both are very laid back, quiet portrayals, but this Miles, he's cocky. That's why I'm taking inspiration from Andrew Garfield, because he's very flamboyant and arrogant and confident, Spider-Man. but at the same time, for Miles, that sort of mix. I like the sort of like the way Daniel Kaluuya is able to use his expression to say so much. I've really been studying that, and
his like almost cynicism in Get Out, even though he's in the right, is really interesting too, and like how he always keeps that guard up. I mean, reasonably so in that movie, but just things like that. The way you write Miles, I can see that.
I definitely also think that like Slim definitely played in that. Peter, I hope Peter, since you've seen the movies, well, I really hope you like see what I was going for, where I tried to mesh.
I can definitely. I think from what I've read of your scripts, I can definitely see inspiration. I'm very excited because I haven't seen you act, so I'm very excited to see what you bring like to Miles, and knowing that that's your inspiration, that's definitely something I'm gonna be like really excited for, man. I think that's awesome.
That is really cool.
For sure.
I totally agree.
Yeah, and I just like I'm really excited for that. And as for the film, once again, like I said, I actually have an entire list that I have on Letterboxd. I sent it to Eric. I can't remember.
You did send it to me. It was great.
Yeah, my list of inspirations when it comes to Morales, I'll list them all. It's not that many. It's Dope, War for the Planet of the Apes, Nope, both the Black Panther films, so it's like 5. Creed, Queen and Slim, and the Amazing Spider-Man duology. Those are definitely my main inspirations when it comes to what I was going for. I think all of them have very personal and heartfelt narratives, and I think if I had to choose the heavy inspirations, it would definitely be War for the Planet of the Apes, Nope, Queen and Slim, and Wakanda Forever. Mainly just because those are so they're very bombastic and very larger than life stories, but at the same time, it never distracts to keep the characters at the focus. And Morales is very much a character study on Miles, his world. Like I said in the video, I already listed the central characters. Every single one of those characters has a moment to shine. None of them go underutilized, and I'm very excited for you all to see how much care and love and very much my heart and soul into this world and making sure that it is the best it could possibly be for not only just because I'm like I don't want to make a shitty movie, but just so I can truly keep the status quo for the Spider-Verse and what you guys have built up over these past few years. Keep it strong.
Well, thanks, man. And
you've been killing it so far, man. You've been doing fantastic.
Thank you.
Well, we'll move on to Eric since he's sharing center screen. What would you say your inspirations are for like not only Back to Basics, which is coming out, we have a trailer for, but also Power and Responsibility?
Real quick before I say it, I just want to keep an eye on the questions as well. I don't want to spend too long talking about this because
right.
But to answer your question, with my Spider-Man, he has a very drastic character change between the first two movies, because in the first one he's a lot more vengeful, he's a lot more angry, and it comes from a place of he was never able to forgive himself for his uncle's murder, because what happened was because of his negligence, he let someone else, he didn't let it happen, but he was irresponsible and Uncle Ben ended up dying. And he kept telling himself it was the robber's fault. It was the criminal's fault. And that drives his hate for him to become a more vengeful Spider-Man. And in Power and Responsibility, you learn that a large part of that is he's too afraid to face the truth that he is also the one responsible for his death. And once he accepts that responsibility, he's able to see these criminals in a much more human light, and he becomes a better hero because of it. In terms of just characters and performances, and in Back to Basics and in Spider-Verse, we see my Peter as happy as he can be. Like, Back to Basics refers to a few different things within the story. One of them being Peter has to resort back to his homemade suit for spoiler reasons, but Back to Basics also refers to the fact that with Power and Responsibility we deconstructed Peter Parker. We're back to basics now. This is the Peter Parker that you guys know. This is the happy-go-lucky symbol of hope kid just trying to do his best. He is not the vengeful one that we've seen in the first movie. He is at his core a very happy-go-lucky kid just trying to do his best, and that is another thing what we mean with Back to Basics. And in terms of performances, base it off of where Sipho mentioned a great reference, another great Spider-Man portrayal. I'll do the same. I always kind of viewed my Spider-Man in the same light as Peter B. Parker from the Spider-Verse movies, mainly because that is my favorite Spider-Man. I love his sense of humor. I love how he carries himself. A lot of my dialogue, like a lot of my Spider-Man self-deprecating dialogue, is sort of in that fashion. I would describe my Spider-Man as a mix between Peter B. Parker from Spider-Verse and Tom Holland from the MCU, because I also really like Tom Holland. Right. It's like if Peter B. Parker had Tom Holland's youthfulness. That's how I kind of like to play my Peter Parker. And then the other like two characters I would base my Peter Parker off of. One is Steve Harrington from Stranger Things, because he's just this like he's this person who means well, but he means well, but he doesn't often handle it in the best way. And especially in Back to Basics, we get that kind of like the working title for Back to Basics was Hopeless Romantic, because that's something I want to do with Peter Parker, and we get that hopeless romantic vibe. And yeah, I'd say those are kind of the characters that just off the top of my head that are that ring a bell with me as who I kind of play my Peter Parker like. Sean and Peter, what about you guys?
Sean, you go first, man. I'm curious to hear you.
Sean, could you ban Toby real quick? Toby M edits. He's referencing some disgusting behavior.
Oh, I think I saw. Oh wait.
It's a question involving the Hooters Go question. Ban him.
I have no opinion, but Sean, what do you kind of base your like Peter Parker and your style? I know you and I have talked about it, but I know synths specifically are a thing.
100%. Yeah, a lot of my musical inspirations come from like Blade Runner and like Stranger Things and stuff, because I love the and like a bunch of like old like Halloween and slasher movies and stuff like that. The Guest, 100%. I like to base my style and kind of my music around that and stuff. There's a lot more of it in this movie, like a lot more of like things that feel like a slasher movie in Dead No More, and I played with that a lot in Devil Inside, which is really fun, where I essentially made Daredevil a slasher villain, at least in the eyes of the goons and stuff like that. But yeah, no, those are mostly my main inspirations for like the kind of the musical side of stuff. I like to base my Peter Parker actually similarly enough to Eric, Steve Harrington, and then definitely Andrew Garfield Spider-Man from his duology and stuff. Yeah, but I mean, with Dead No More, I wanted this film to really like focus on the themes of life and like its highs and lows, and like what really makes us human. Another big theme of it is second chances. Like, mostly with Ben Reilly getting a second chance at life. He isn't exactly human. He's a clone. So a lot of this film is him and Kane kind of separately dealing with that fact, and in their own different ways and stuff. And then Peter Parker's got his own trials and tribulations with earning second chances and whatnot. So I do want to move on to the questions and stuff, so I'm not going to get too much into it. But yeah.
No, that's a great answer.
I'll finish up then real quick since I'm last. Otto, I kind of base off like very basic answer off the Dan Slott Superior run. I take a lot of inspiration from that in the sense that like that is the definitive run on that character. As for like Otto's kind of like personality and kind of the sadness to him, it's a mixture of Eric. Oh, it's gonna laugh when I say this. It's a mixture between Ben Mendelsohn from the movie Land of Steady Habits and Stannis Theon from Game of Thrones. Jared Walker, who is a wonderful composer. I don't know if he's watching this, but if he did, he's a fantastic composer. The theme in Log Date was based off of the Blackwater theme that is Stannis' theme in Game of Thrones. And I kind of really like Stannis as this kind of sad, sullen king who doesn't ever get to really embrace his victory, very similar to Otto. And I mean, even the Log Date concept is from fucking Steven Universe, Peridot. Like, I love that. And I think having this widescreen like look to it and having Otto feel so small in the world, I also based off of a really good movie on Netflix called Land of Steady Habits. So I play Otto kind of like this very depressed character, because Peter Parker's a character, he goes through a lot and he deals a lot, but I think inherently Peter Parker is an optimist. I think deep down, to an extent, he's a realist and he deals with things, but he is a hero. Whereas Otto, where we stand with him right now, he is not a hero. He kind of wants to relish in his victory of killing and becoming Spider-Man, but the world is far larger than him, and it does not care about his victory, and he will never really get to be Spider-Man at the moment. But yeah, I think that I love hearing everyone's. Also for movies, I just like I just whatever. I think I like Game of Thrones a lot, which is a weird thing to talk about Spider-Man with, but I like all that stuff, and I like Ben Mendelsohn. I like the movie Mississippi Grind, which I'm basing later aspect on, especially the ending of that movie. But yeah, let's get back to some questions. Eric, what's in the
I'm gonna quick fire some of these real quick before I do. I'm just gonna say something very fast. I didn't really talk about my movie inspirations. I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but I will say like writing style and like even the way the characters are written. I'm a big Rian Johnson fanboy. I know the Last Jedi haters in the comments. First of all, you guys are wrong. The movie's great. Not gonna get into it.
Why would you bring it up? Leave it alone.
No. Let him cook. Let him cook.
Let him cook. Let him
cook.
But Rian Johnson's writing style is something that I am a big fan of, and the way I like putting a lot of messaging in my films, and the way Rian Johnson handles messaging and uses characters as like metaphors or symbols for certain things, I'm just a massive fan of, and I personally do it a lot. Anyways, I'm gonna quick fire these questions now. Not all of them, just some of them. One is, what is the estimated runtime of Spider-Man Spectacular Spider-Verse? We don't know yet. Currently, we have 45 minutes filmed. I'd like it to be around the same length as Power and Responsibility, though. What are the inspirations you guys used for the film? I don't really know. We didn't really we just sort of like Spider-Verse comics and stuff. Eric, are you the director of Spider-Man Spectacular Spider-Verse? Yes, I will be helming the Spider-Verse movie. And what advice, and this is a question for all of us, Braden the filmmaker asks, what advice and tips can you give the younger members of the FFC? And then that's just the ones I'll quick fire. You guys can go through the rest of them. But yeah,
I'll do really quick for advice. It's stay true to your vision. Continue to persevere with what you want to make, and don't really let anyone tell you how. Like, there are intrinsic objectives to how films are made. Like, you should be in focus and get good sound and all that stuff. But in the sense of
the face he's making right now.
No, sorry. I read. Anyway, keep going. Sorry, I read something in the. Yeah. Anyway, keep going.
But anyway, those are objective, intrinsic ways to make films. When it comes to your artistic vision and your story, don't let other people tell you how to or how not to make a Spider-Man film. If you want your Spider-Man to fight a character he normally doesn't fight, it doesn't matter if it's not lore friendly or the power scaling. It's about the story you want to tell. You don't need to follow the comics. You don't need to follow movies or shows. You make your character and your film your own. What's up?
Eric made a really good video about that, a year
exactly.
ago.
How to make a great Spider-Man film, which I believe was.
Don't watch that video.
That's not what I was talking about, but
don't watch that video.
I was talking about do fan films need to be comic accurate and stuff.
Yeah, watch the video. Fan films be comic accurate? That's a video I'm actually proud of.
A very good
video. We got Mark Ritchie and Joey Lever on that video,
which is awesome. But I think that's my advice, especially with Log Date, which is, there's no fighting in Log Date. It's mostly me sad monologuing, which is, incredibly different from a lot of other fan films. But I think for me, the vision that I wanted to tell required that. So I think if you have a selective vision for your character or your film, don't let other people kind of tell you how that is made. That's just my baseline stuff. Let's shift to someone else.
I was to quickly piggyback off of that. That's definitely something I heavily agree with tenfold. Peter, you were speaking that truth.
Thanks, man.
For sure. One thing that I definitely wanted to let you guys know is that the journey is not going to be easy. I really don't mean to sound like some sort of pessimistic, but as something I've had to really remind myself throughout the 5 years ever since I said, you know what, I'm going to make a movie. And it's been 5 years. I'm just now truly finding my style. But as I always like to remind myself, nothing worthwhile ever comes easy. We all worked hard to even get to where we are. We started in such a drastically. I don't mean to speak for all of us, but I'm just saying we all started creatively, drastically different. In a drastically different area than where we are now, and we've come a lot farther as creatives. Eric, even looking back at your older films, The Power and Responsibility, completely see the difference and the improvements in creativity, filmmaking, writing. And it truly goes to show how far you've come as a person when it comes to your storytelling, abilities, and it's inspirational. And I think that's something that I think, when it comes to making a movie in general, whether it be a fan film or an original property, it's never ever going to come easy. Once you get an idea, it's not going to be like, oh, that's the idea, and you're going to write a 10 out of 10 script, and it's going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. No, but the journey to get it where you want it to be is definitely probably in my opinion the highlight of it, because it shows that all your hard work is paying off, and the tenacity that you've shown when it comes to bringing this project to life, and telling these stories with these characters that speaks for itself. So that's my advice to you guys. Just don't give up. Try not to give up. I know it's gonna, trust me, it's hard. I've almost quit fan films like 6 different times in the past 2 years. But I mean, now I didn't, and now I'm here. I'm thankful to be here. So just don't remind yourself, to just try to keep pushing yourself, and that's the best I can possibly tell you guys, honestly. I mean, when it comes to writing, I still have a lot of work I got to do anyway, so I'm not going to speak too much on the objectives, but
I feel you.
I can just tell you that, to just keep pushing. That's all we
keep persevering, and don't let anybody tell you how, your story should be. Like, in the end, what's best for your movie and your universe or whatever.
Oh, hey, Emma.
And stuff like that. So.
Emma!
What's up, Emma?
The best advice I can give you guys is don't go near banks or bank trucks with a bunch of masks on.
If you're shooting in Crocker Park, make sure that you get a permit.
Yeah,
yeah.
Right.
Even if you want that production,
I don't know why you dropped the name of like a place near we live, but okay.
They will. I can confirm that they will call the police on you, and they will sit there and make you delete all the footage, and they will threaten you.
Even though they can't do
that,
didn't you learn that you can't? That they can't.
Yeah, I found that after they couldn't do that.
Yeah, legally they're not allowed to do that because it's.
But I wasn't gonna argue with them. There's a bunch of cops there, and they were like, "Yeah, they want to beat them up." That footage. Like, yeah, I should have. Yeah, me.
You should have fought them.
Yeah, no.
Anyway,
I've only had one.
We're falling very behind on questions.
That's true. We are pretty.
We spend a little too much time on it.
No, we're answering questions. That's the point of questions that you answer them.
When might we be seeing the first trailer for Spectacular Spider-Verse? Not for a while.
A million
probably
things
after
have to
Back
get
to
done.
Basics comes out and like all the films leading up to that.
This is a good question. What software did you guys use for the swinging animation parts of the film? What's the process that goes into that? So here's the thing: we don't do that. I know I speak for me and Sean when I say the swinging sequences are done by the incredibly talented Nero does stuff. He is absolutely fantastic. I don't know what goes into it per se, but you can find his channel. It's either Nero does stuff or Nero makes films.
Cypher Films did a really good little sequence.
Cypher Films is also really good.
Dead No More, using some CG models and stuff for Spider-Man. He killed it. They're both very, very talented.
Oh, which CG models were Cyphers in Dead No More?
I mean, I'm not going to say it right now.
I'm so sorry. No, don't answer that question. I'm testing you. Sorry.
Oh, sure.
Tell me later.
This is a question that I really like. This is by Teleport X Titan. I don't know. How big would you consider the threat in Spectacular Spider-Verse? I can't say what it is, but here's what I will say. I wouldn't say it's big, but it's personal. And that's all that matters. It's personal.
Right. Size doesn't always matter.
Why is the Scarlet Spider in the... Jesus, Sean.
It's not
about the web. It's not about the web shooter, but it's about the Spider-Man.
Exactly.
It's not about the web shooter. It's about the 115 different.
Why isn't Scarlet Spider in the Spider-Verse film? Because we couldn't buy Sam a ticket.
Sam's really busy. Sam's busy, and the other stunt guy that puts on the suit is also busy. He's got a bunch of kickboxing going on. So, Eric was at home playing PS4. That's what he was doing during Spider-Verse.
He's playing Black Ops 4.
We didn't want to have the lineup be like super big and a lot to deal with. And stuff.
True.
So we wanted to condense it down to more of like a core group.
Oh, Peter, here's a question for you by Ian Huff Studios. Will we ever see Superior Spider-Man facing one of his villains in Log Date 2?
We will see Superior Spider-Man. There's I will not get too much into it, but if you've read the Superior Spider-Man comics, there's a very specific moment with Otto and one of Peter's villains It's very a bit, let's just say, brutal. That we will be touching
Very
on
based.
in Log Bait 2. We will be integrating that that aspect in, and it's very, very exciting, and we will see how that works. We'll get into more Otto's villain roster. Also, real quick, what's your guys' favorite piece of filming equipment? This is like a one-word answer. Fisheye lens. Fisheye lens is my answer.
Probably the motorized
Cameras.
gimbal thing.
Cameras.
Oh, the gimbal is so good, Sean.
Either that or my new camera, which is really nice.
What is your new camera, Sean? I'm curious.
I have the Canon. Why am I forgetting the name of it for some reason?
Oh, you know what? I think I remember the name.
It's the Canon M6 Mark II.
That's crazy, Sean, because I think I forgot my phone charger at your house, and I'm just throwing that out there. You know what I'm saying?
No,
I think I forgot my phone charger at your crib, so I'll have to slide past maybe tomorrow, next Tuesday. Pick it up.
My favorite piece of equipment is the camera bag, book bag I have. I'm not even joking. That thing is so handy. I got it as a Christmas present a few years ago. I love it. It's like a camera. It's like made for cameras and stuff, but instead of like a carry bag, it's like a book bag.
How big is that again?
It's just about the size of a book bag.
How much does you fit in that?
You can fit a decent bit in it, and it's like made for like putting your camera in and stuff like that. There was a question I saw here. Yeah. Hey, Eric, how is Wolverine involved in Back to Basics? Is there any other X-Men in the film or in the near future? So I'm not going to say if there's any other X-Men in Back to Basics. Wolverine's the only one we're revealing, but the X-Men and the other mutants, they certainly exist. How Wolverine is involved in Back to Basics, I can't really say too much without spoiling it, but it has to do with the Lizard, and Wolverine would rather handle the Lizard situation differently than how Spider-Man is handling it, and they get into a disagreement about that. I'm so happy Emma pulled up.
Emma's the best.
Based Emma. What's going on, Emma?
I don't think I've had an actual conversation with Emma besides me like being so happy that she's Spider-Gwen. But other than that...
Oh, Nate!
Film forum.
Nate's here.
What's up, Nate?
I'm not
Emma, my Christmas was good. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, thank you for asking. How about yours? How was your Christmas?
She ain't saying anything. She's dead.
Oh, no, she got hit by that same car.
It's the Goblin. God damn it. My Christmas was good.
I'm the Goblin.
Oh, I got this really cool thing. Colin gave it to me. Hold on. Just give me 1 second. It's
good to hear, Emma.
I had a great. That's awesome.
Oh, dude, Eric's gone. I'll say mean things about him now.
It's a gingerbread. Oh, it's not showing up in my background, but it's a Funko Pop, and he's a gingerbread Spider-Man. Can you guys see that? No, you can't. What if I hold it? If I hold it right next to my face. There we go.
That's super hard. That's so tough.
Mind Goblin. Mind Goblin these nuts. You can't see it, but I'm dabbing. My camera's dead, but I'm doing a big dab right now.
Your camera's dead. Don't lie, Peter.
One question.
You had a great Christmas.
Yeah, that's true. One question I quickly want to touch on is the advice question. Oh, I'm trying to scroll up because I accidentally scrolled down. What tips can you give to playing Miles Morales? I think Miles is I'll tell you this. He was at first for the past few months I've been writing this, he was a very hard character to write, in my opinion, because with how Into the Spider-Verse truly made the Miles Morales, that's even the game, though I love the game's adaptation, there are a lot of little, bits and pieces sprinkled in from Into the Spider-Verse. It's very hard to truly, build an entirely new idea of what this character could be when what they have is so pitch perfect. But as I said in the chat, I think the best idea is to put yourself in his shoes, because Miles is, I think he's a hard character, right? But he's also very easily accessible, if it makes sense. Because even in Spider-Verse, what made him so mass appealing is because he's not, he's smart, but he's also he's just a kid who likes street art and whatnot. He's the type of dude you see walking down the streets with a pair of Jordans on and a spray paint can, throwing around stickers and stuff. And I think that's what makes him very easily accessible. So my best suggestion is just to put yourself in his shoes and see how, of course you can't do too much to contradict from the core Spider-Man. Unless, but yeah, that's just my advice. I think with how much of myself I put into Miles, and my sort of arrogance and cynicism, and that sort of just a lot of my mindset, and how this film has sort of helped me realize how I can grow past it while helping, truly like working symbiotically to help Miles grow out of it as well. That's, I think, what's really formed the beating heart of the film. And I think that's the best advice I can give you. Just make your Miles personal to you.
I'm so glad you said that, because like I think all of us have like put a little piece of ourselves into the characters that we play, and that's something I think is super important.
100%.
Absolutely.
There's been a few comments talking about how Peter plays both the Goblin in your universe and Otto Octavius in his own, and how your Spider-Man, like, will he notice that it's the same face as Harry? That's a great question, because when we revealed Peter as Superior Spider-Man, I remember getting a lot of messages being like, so it's like Harry Osborn becoming Superior Spider-Man?
Like that Harry was like coming back or something. And
there was a lot of concerns about that.
Right.
So here's the thing. No, they are two entirely different characters. Harry did not become Superior Spider-Man. And will Sean's Spider-Man notice? I guess we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see.
Can I quickly answer this question? Oh, wait, are you done, Eric?
Yes, I'm pretty much done, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, what made y'all want to put Miles in your Spider-Verse? They needed a token minority, so
they got me.
So they needed another token minority and a black guy. So I got a text from Eric. He was like, "Yo, what's up, man?" And after that, I was pretty much game for it anyway. But really,
yeah, we were doing the pointing meme. We were looking around. We're like, we're all a little white for the multiverse.
We just need. I was like, "Hey, Eric, why'd you call me?" He was like, "Well, when you really put it like that," and then
it's a good impression of you, man, because that is exactly how you sound, Eric.
Nah, but real talk, it was like when they came to me with the pitch and what we had, we had very similar ideas. Originally my project was separate, but over these past few months, with what we had in mind, that's when I was like, Eric, bunk it. I'll do it. I'll pay whatever I need to do and do what I need to do to merge, and that's how we got here. And what the pitch that he gave to me, with not having Spider-Verse without Miles, that's sort of the whole reason. I can pretty much say it was though I was excited for Spider-Verse, even if that our favorite token Black Spider-Man wasn't even in there. I was excited for it nonetheless. So it was like I was really hyped, but it's like having Miles in there and being able to bring to life this character that. And I mean this with the most almost straight. He kind of like put the idea of having a Spider-Verse on the map with Into the Spider-Verse, with how popularized it was after the film.
Well, yeah.
It was like
it's like wrong to do a Spider-Verse without Miles in a way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right, Eric, I believe there was a question directed towards you about Spider-Gwen also. By Ian Huff, I believe, because that's something I noticed directed towards you up a bit further.
Yeah. I'll answer that question, but just real quick, adding on to that. In the original draft of Spectacular Spider-Verse, Miles was only going to be like a brief, 1 minute long cameo, because this film follows five main Spider people, like me, Sean Spider-Man, Miles, Otto, and Spider-Gwen. Those are the main five it follows. But original and there's going to be other Spider people, but those are the main five. The rest are more so cameos, and Miles was originally more so a cameo. And Peter and Sean remember this, but I was looking at the film and everything like that, and I was like, it's missing something. And I was like, and I read a bunch of Spider-Man stuff, a bunch of Spider-Verse stuff, rewatching the Spider-Verse, and I was like, we cannot do this without Miles. And I looked at the story and how well Miles works into the story, and I was like, because I'm not going to spoil what happens, but Miles in this movie, it was one of those things where it's like he should have been there the entire time. I mean, he was there, but he should have had a bigger role the entire time. And I went back and rewrote a good chunk of it to incorporate Miles, because he needed to be there. He just did. He makes the story so much better, and he fits in very naturally. And to have a Spider-Verse story without Miles, it just doesn't. Or with Miles as a cameo role, it didn't sit right with me. And I was like, I need to make this I need to make him a main guy. And I reached out to Sipho. And I was like, hey, man, you're incredibly passionate about this character. Would you like to play Miles? And yeah.
Sipho.
You're getting some more Spider-Gwen questions.
Sorry, I fumbled. Will we ever get more info on Spider-Gwen, because it's awesome, and I added it to my top list videos. Yes, so Spider-Gwen's going to go into production after Back to Basics. And you will get more stuff on it soon. Colin will be playing the villain. He'll be playing Matt Murdock / Kingpin.
Since I had a blast from power and responsibility, I can't wait for everyone to see what's to come. Working with you all has been such a pleasure. I'm so excited to see my Emma. I already got like $400 in my bank account ready for that flight to Canada so we can film Spider-Verse. Don't even think about that shit.
Says, what tone do you plan to have for the Spider-Gwen film?
Peter, would you like to answer that one? Because you're the writer.
Yeah, true.
I am the writer for that. That's true. I actually forgot. Writing too many things right now. Common Peter problem. I'm doing too many projects. But Spider-Gwen is
going around.
Yeah, so Sean, you know what's up. But Spider-Gwen, Eric and I had a really good conversation about it, and one of my favorite things about Power and Responsibility was Gwen. I think she was really, really good in it, and I think Emma as an actress, also slightly biased because I've met her and she's wonderful. She's an incredibly nice person. I think Emma
rocks.
Emma Ryan, Sean, you can back it up. We've met
100%.
Emma and
Emma
everything, and
awesome
she's wonderful.
on film with.
But with the Spider-Gwen film, the way that Eric and I talked about it is it's this tone of, it's a little bit more, I don't want to say adult because that sounds weird, but it's a little bit, it's mature in some ways, and it's about love, and it's about loss, and it's about fundamentally perseverance, because while with great power comes great responsibility, to gain great power, you must first have great perseverance in order to get to where you want to be, in order to be the person you feel as if you need to be. And that's Gwen's kind of journey to an extent. Without getting into spoilers, it is about becoming who you're meant to be, and I think that's kind of the tone that we're going for. And by we, I mean I'm writing a loose script, and if Eric wants to toss it out, he can because it's his movie. But
he will.
I
really
excited.
love everything you've been cooking up, though. I think it's just a really fun script and all the ideas that you've shot around, and that ending that we talked about recently.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
absolutely
in love with it. I think Spider-Gwen may have my favorite ending out of the Spider-Man stuff I've made so far. It's really, really cool.
It's gonna slap, man. It's gonna slap. I definitely think.
This is a good question. What will the tone of Spider-Verse be? Will it be like an upbeat No Way Home or Infinity War? Honest to God, Spider-Verse does have its really fun moments, but for most of the film, it's fairly melancholy. It's not like Into the Spider-Verse where it's like, because Into the Spider-Verse has some sad scenes like Uncle Aaron's death and just Peter B. Parker as a character. But that's still a very fun movie. Spectacular Spider-Verse is, obviously I can't talk about what happens, but it is a more melancholy film because we're dealing with when we pitched Spider-Verse, when we were coming up with it, we looked at all of our characters' deepest insecurities and their deepest traumas and said, we're getting all these, I can't spoil anything, but where Spectacular Spider-Verse takes place after Back to Basics and takes place after Dead No More and after Log Date and Morales, all these characters are very flawed at the end of those movies. So what happens in Spectacular Spider-Verse is you're getting all of these different Spider people at the peak of their flaws, and it's how they kind of work together and balance off each other to make each other better and learn from each other and enrich each other. So it's this slow buildup of these Spider-Men and these Spider people remembering why the Spider-Man symbol is important and remembering why they became this hero. So it's melancholy in a lot of what happens in the film, but it's all for the greater purpose of it's a love letter to Spider-Man and to honor these characters and to show these characters learning and coming out of the darkest moments in their lives. And it's a really I'm not just trying to toot my own horn here, but I'm very proud of the story for it, and I think it's really, really cool.
Well, as someone who was there when we filmed it, I agree with all that. I think it's 100%. Phenomenal. I think you're all going to be blown away by Thanks, Josh. But I think you're all going to be blown away by Eric's. ADHD moment. I think you're all going to be blown away by Eric's writing abilities and the stories. And I think, without spoilers, I think the acting that everyone brings is amazing. I can't get into it, but Sean specifically,
for sure.
I got to watch Sean take such a new route with his Peter Parker and do these just amazing moments where, like, once again, I can't get too specific, but like he channels this amazing energy. And I've seen him like play, and in Dead No More, it's that same thing, which he creates such a great energy with Peter Parker that I think like hasn't been seen before. And I think you're all just going to be amazed by the depth, both from the acting and the writing and the storytelling. And I think as someone who didn't have Otto before Spider-Verse, Spider-Verse was the conceptual place for Otto Octavius. We are now able to, Eric's ability to write Otto has allowed me to create my own thing, and because of that, that's, I think, a really great example of why the writing in Spider-Verse is really fun. Are we talking about me being drunk now on chat?
I just noticed that also.
I was pouring my heart out, and everyone's just talking about how I got drunk in Canada.
Oh, you guys need to understand. Like that night, we were supposed to film this an incredibly like heartfelt, like personal scene with Superior Spider-Man, and then Peter got loaded at the bar, and he was very drunk, and we kept saying like, "Yes, we're gonna have to reschedule this scene shoot now." And Peter, who was barely able to stand, he was like, "No, put me in the suit. I got this." And we were like, "No, you don't. You cannot do this."
Peter's exact quote was, "Come on, guys, put me in the suit. I can do it."
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, no, no, I'm the Goblin. That's my most infamous line from any movie. But
so funny.
Honest to God, I think Spider-Verse rocks, and I'm sure Sean would say the same thing. Unless he just goes, he's like, "No, actually, it sucks."
Yeah, it's pretty bad, actually, guys.
Yeah, Sean, he very much hates Spider-Verse.
Every single second of me being down there. I'll be completely honest with you guys. Sipho, you do not want to meet these guys. You do not want to meet us. I'm telling you, man.
Oh yeah, we're.
So there's been a few questions that we've missed out on. One, another person's asking like how Miles was different in Power and Responsibility. It's not a different universe. It's just a recast. It's a recast actor because the original actor moved across the country and we can't get him anymore.
I have a few questions that I definitely like itching to answer real quick.
Yeah, answer them.
Let's speedrun them.
Alrighty, for sure. Alrighty, first off, Josh Bamford, thank you for saying my sense of humor is so good. That's one thing I've been.
That was like an hour ago.
It was very. I'm sorry, I had to say it, bro. I forgot to like text out in the chat like thank you, bro, and it was too late, so I had to just like I had to say it before it was too late. But here's a question for Sipho: are there any other characters you're excited to introduce in your Spider-Man cinematic universe? Honestly, just there's not too many people here. And besides, by the time I dropped like the official like teaser reveal with him, people were already forgotten. But one character that I'm very excited to kind of have in Morales is near the end of the film. Miles Morales will actually have a fight with Hawkeye, and I think that's going to be a very interesting sort of, because one thing I think that holds up throughout the entire Morales trilogy is. Whereas Peter was sort of he was a friendly neighborhood Avenger and he worked with S.H.I.E.L.D., Miles is like the opposite, and he and S.H.I.E.L.D. are always like butting heads throughout the entire time. And this is like sort of planting the seeds as with the conflict that I'm not going to spoil it. Nate, don't take a drink on that one, all right? Don't kill yourself. But not going to spoil it. And with the conflict, how it unfolds, how these two meet, and the fight that they're going to have, the choreography that we have, I think that's probably going to be our most fast-paced. It's very Winter Soldier-esque in the way that we're approaching it. It's going to be...
That's how I love shooting fight scenes. That's a big basis for how I like to shoot fight scenes. That's exciting, man. I like that a lot.
Oh, yeah. I'm really excited. I think that's probably going to be my favorite fight scene to shoot. That or the Because I mean, honestly, all the fights in the movie are pretty like inspired by like the Russo brothers, like handheld, boom, 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 boom.
If you want to talk to the guy about fight scenes, Sean is the guy to.
John's the best here at it, man. He's incredible.
No, dude. Actually, I haven't heard much about what you guys are doing for fight scenes. I'd love to hear that. Off camera and stuff. That's gonna be sick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't there when they were shot, but there's a really good. It's in the trailer, right? The one.
There's the Spider-Man and Kane fight is like the best.
Yeah, I was just saying, I wasn't sure if I was able, but yeah, the Spider-Man Kane fight. You are all not ready, but yeah, I'm not a fight scene guy. I'm not built for it physically or emotionally, but
Hey, man, BOE, you had your moments though, man. You had your moments.
Sure, I did a good kick in BOE, but like
a big kick.
The Dead No More fight scenes are such a like if you thought Best of Enemies was good, which it is, by the way, Dead No More is going to blow your socks out of the water. Is that the phrase?
You, I gotta give massive props to Jacob and Max, my two stunt my two stunt coordinators. They knock it out of the park every time.
So I was literally working with them today on something, and we weren't even doing previous. They just started like punching each other. They just started like sparring.
They do that a lot. They do that a lot.
Yeah. We'll be on set, and Sean will be like, "Okay, guys, we're gonna have like this intensive fights," and they're like, "Gotcha," and then they'll start like just fighting for no reason, and Sean's like, "Guys, save your energy."
Oh my god, yeah, the Kane fight was me just being like, save your energy the whole time.
Dude, they go off, man. It's amazing. Like, it's amazing to watch, but I can't imagine for you where like, you're gonna have to do this kick like 4 times to get the angle right.
They wouldn't take a break. I begged them to drink some water.
I know when we shot the with Dom, if you're still in the chat, the Shocker and Spider-Man fight in Best of Enemies, just absolute just chaos with the amount of times that you guys went through that. It's a really cool stuff. But yeah, no, Dead No More has amazing fight stuff, and I'm excited.
Super proud of the fight scenes.
Sipho. Fuck. This is the slate all over again. That joke's for Sean and it's for Dom in the chat.
Yep,
but I think the fight choreography I'm really excited to watch it. There's a bunch of other questions that I think we should
the last question I'm gonna ask for a little bit. Well, yeah, I think that is the only one that I haven't answered yet, which is from Stop Motion Studios 2.0. Sipho, will there be like hip hop type beats and morales? For the score, I'm not going to say too much, mainly just because I don't have a composer yet. But when it came to writing the script...
We'll get you hooked up with one.
Well, when it came to writing the script, thank you. When it came to writing the script, what I really listened to a lot when it came to score were I listened to a lot of Ludwig Göransson, as he's my favorite composer of all time. I love every single thing he's made.
Black Panther, great stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm telling you, Wakanda Forever alone made Ludwig Göransson my third most listened to artist of the year. So that's
had a beautiful score, dude.
He's so good. Like there's this stomping, and it feels like people in like a stadium, and it's like I like feet of just like amazing,
so
like just pounding and everything.
For sure,
I love the Mandalorian theme song.
The Mandalorian
like that whistle, like that doo doo. I love it.
Yeah, that entire thing is just, but yeah, Ludwig Göransson does use like sort of trap and stuff, mainly for let's say Killmonger's theme in the first Black Panther. But I've been trying to stray away from that.
The theme is my favorite thing in my favorite thing in the world. Sorry, I interrupted you. Sorry, apologies.
You're fine. No worries. I love the Dora Milaje theme. One thing that I think is sort of not to say I'm straying away from it. I have been, I have been cooking up a little something on the side when it comes to soundtrack, but when it comes to score, I will say I'm not trying to lean too heavy. It's gonna have a techno vibe, but imagine it's a Peter Parker, Spider-Man, traditional Spider-Man theme, but just mixed in with its own little thingy thing. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's really gonna be something to very much hold and be excited for. And all right, this is the last question. I swear to God, this is the last question I'm answering for like
no, it's all good, buddy. It's all good.
That's why we're here, bro. That's why we're here.
I promise you this last. I gotta let y'all cook. How much screen time does Morbius have in Miles Morales? He takes
all the screen time. He morbs the whole movie.
What is the morbid time in this movie?
Morbid time, it's about
on a scale of 1 to morbid. How much?
No, but actually, this is gonna be kind of crazy that I'm saying this, but Morbius has a very solid amount of screen time in the film. He has about
morbing all over.
He morbs all over the screen, and he like it's gonna be insane because
I'm morbid just thinking about it.
Morb has about like half the screen time. He's a very central character in the theme.
I have a actually Morbius question. If you can answer it, it's okay. Like, what's for Morbius? Are you going to be doing like a costume? Is he going to be like wearing like kind of the coat, or like is he going to be shoeless like?
Costume wise,
because I like
gonna
Morbius
look like
feet,
regular Jared Leto.
Costume wise, we do plan on having the coat. He'll have shoes on, unfortunately. I'm sorry, Peter. But,
I like feet.
Well,
like
me.
The dogs out.
We'll have to talk about this after the live because I like what you're seeking right now. But I definitely for the costume, it's gonna be like sort of a Jekyll and Hyde. That's what I can tell you about Morbius' character. It's very much a Dr. Jekyll and Hyde situation.
Ooh, I love that.
With a twist, with its own little twists here and there. But for the costume, what we've been sketching out for the makeup is we've already gotten these like dark red, like the dang, what's the word? I'm stupid as fuck. The pupils and shit in your eyes with like the eye color.
Contacts.
Yeah, the contacts. Yeah.
Oh
god, that's what I was gonna say. They're all going to be they're going to be blood red, and the eyes are going to be like the rest of our actor Aiden's eyes are just going to be completely pitch black.
That's really sick, actually.
Well, that'll be a good look.
And of course, you're going to have his fangs, and we're going to make his we're going to put some makeup on and make his like skin look a little bit more paler than it normally would. And then of course, when he's just regular Michael Morbius, that's when he'll have his regular face. But I think having those two different designs is really going to come in clutch as well.
Peter, real quick, somebody is talking about the Punisher. And,
God, really good.
I just noticed that.
Wilson Tyler YT. This is a Spider-Verse thing, but I think I just want to give you this opportunity. I said
Tyler,
I want to give you this.
What's up, man?
I want to give you this opportunity to talk about Punisher because it's very, very cool.
I gotta go take a potty.
It's all good. This is a Spider-Verse chat, so I won't dive too much into the Punisher.
No, you can dive into it, buddy. This is a really cool thing.
Fair, Sean, as you mentioned, like on New Year's, there is going to be a Buckeye Studios video that is going to dive more into this movie. But Punisher was amazing. It was my Buckeye Studios directorial debut, both writing and directing it. Sean was killer on the camera work for it. We got to work with two really established actors. Our lead actor, George, who plays Frank Castle, is one of the most amazing people we've ever worked with, and he brings such a depth and humanity and sadness and just subtlety to Frank, and I think you all are going to be amazed by what this film showcases and everything. I just ate a fucking piece of jerky.
Sounds like you snorted it.
Yeah, sorry, I'm dying over here. But Punisher's really good. I know, right?
I'm sorry, that was mean.
Well, hey man, Wilson, thank you like so much for just like talking, and congrats on like the Marines and everything. Like that's really intensive. My buddy Jason's an active Marine and everything, and I think with like Punisher, you dive into like the character in a way that I don't think many people are expecting, and it's very different. One thing I wanted to do with Punisher is Sean's Spider-Man movies are phenomenal, and I love them.
Thanks, man.
And I think they're these incredible things. So I wanted to make Punisher feel really separate from those and really different. Right. So I think with Punisher it's shorter and it's more self-contained, and it's not really building up towards anything, but it's just this portrait and this deep dive into what makes someone like Frank Castle tick. So I think if you're all
very interesting,
you all look forward to that because it is coming in the future. Can't say too much, but thank you for asking, man. I've just been sitting here thinking about it for like the past 4 months because we not really filmed it in November, I think, right, Sean?
Yeah, it has not been 4 months.
No. But I do for the script. I think has been done for 4 months, and then we filmed it, so it's been on cooker for a bit.
Oh, definitely.
But
It'll be here
it was a
sooner than
pleasure.
you guys think, which is very exciting.
I say, and I think one of the best things about Punisher is that Sean gets to be fully behind the camera for that, so he doesn't have to be Spiderman or anything. So I think you all get to see just the talent that he has as a cinematographer and as a thing. Also, we got to work with, because I'm not an actor. I'm very bad at it, to be fair. But the two guys we got for Punisher and another character, they did 8 pages of lines just off the top of their head, and it was insane to watch, and it's really cool. So the acting in this film is on such a different level. And Tristan, thank you for saying Loggate's your favorite fan film. That means a lot. That's
awesome. It's a good pick.
I'm glad that you also enjoy just a really sad, depressed man like I do. And also you like me and Logdate. Oh, thanks, Josh. Listen, I think, to be fair, everyone, I haven't seen Sipho act because I haven't watched Morales. It's not out yet. But I can say, as being in person to watch Eric and Sean act, they are phenomenal. They bring, both of them, such a different energy to their Peter Parkers and their performances. Oh, Jesus, it's just Logdate praise now in the chat. I feel honored. Right? I'm going to cry.
Because Logdate's incredible, dude.
But,
it is. It deserves all the praise that it's getting.
It
deserves all of it.
Oh, thanks, guys. I think to just, man, you guys are the best. But to pop on Sean and Eric mode, what makes them so cool, and I think why their films are so endearing and why people like them so much, is you both feel like Peter Parker, but you don't feel like the same Peter Parker. And I think that's what makes Spider-Verse also really cool, is because you both carry such perfect aspects of what I like about Peter Parker.
Even, I couldn't agree with you more. I when crafting this Spider-Verse, there was always in the back of my mind a concern of having 2 Peter Parkers at the forefront.
Exactly.
Because I'm I don't want to have 2 of the same character in the forefront of the Spider-Verse, but me and Sean's Spider-Man are drastically different. Well, I just shouldn't say drastically, but they are very different. The worlds they come from are very different. Sean's universe is a lot more grounded than mine.
Exactly. And I think our personalities kind of come from how grounded or bombastic each other's worlds are and stuff.
Exactly. Your Goblin is a legitimate mobster that could reasonably exist, and mine wears tights. So it's it's even just the world and the and just the approach, and it just the world feels very different. And I'd say our Peter Parkers and their supporting characters feel very distinct. And Definitely. That's something we touch on in the Spider-Verse movie. Is there's this great scene. It's this fantastic scene that I love. It's one of my favorite ones that we filmed. I'm going to pat myself on the back, but also you, Sean, because I think Sean and I killed it with this scene. It's just this scene where my Spider-Man and Sean's Spider-Man just sit down and talk. And they talk about the things that they have in common and what they've both been through, but also what makes them different. And in that scene, you can see how these two are not the same character. Exactly. They're both Peter Parker. They're both Spider-Man, but they're not the same character. And a big thing that's been fun to explore with this whole Spider-Man cinematic universe, this Spider-Verse, is what makes these two Peter Parkers different. I had someone ask me recently, I can't remember who is the main character of this Spider-Verse, and there really isn't any.
The answer is Spider-Man.
Exactly. Yeah. I never looked at our Spider-Verse and said, oh, Sean's the main character, he's the main Spider-Man, or I am, or Sipho is, or Peter is. There is no main character.
I think there's each movie has its own central character that it focuses on.
100%.
There's not one person that's the leader of everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if someone were to ask me who is the definitive Spider-Man, who is the main one that in your universe, I'd say there isn't one.
Right.
Yes, exactly. Some get more of a highlight than others. Sean, you and I both get a lot of screen time because we have we each have a lot of movies under our belt.
Exactly.
But I've always had the mindset of it with screen time and how many solo projects a character has. It doesn't dictate their importance to the universe. I think all the characters
they all
are
serve a role and have like a purpose.
Exactly. So there
They're
isn't
equally as
really a
important as
definitive
the
Peter
next,
Parker, and
yeah.
I think with how different they are, it makes it really interesting. Because I think our
Definitely.
Spider-Man, I love how they're similar but different. I love it.
100%.
I went on a tangent there. I'm sorry.
No,
you're
dude,
good,
I
you're good.
agree with. To be fair, you only went on a tangent because I set you up.
That's true.
You can't let that. You can't let a good serve hit the ground when you're playing v-ball.
B-ball.
It's short for volleyball. But yeah, no, I think that's what makes
Based.
Spider-Verse as a concept so great is that you get to explore similarities within Spider people, but also what makes them unique and different. And I'm like, it's cool. And I think watching the characters interact and watching them exist is really awesome. And like Sean, you and Eric, you're both your Spider-Man. That scene you're talking about, which there's really two of them that come to mind when I say that. But I like because they both have such a different energy to them. Those scenes where you two kind of geek out about your existence and your like being Spider-Man. I think that's such a cool feeling as someone who's been with Sean when we made Spider-Man Responsibility and Retribution and Dead No More and Best of Enemies. And as someone who's watched your films, Eric, and I was in Power and Responsibility as a Henry Peter Gyrick for a little bit, but and we've talked about your movies, and to be able to watch these two titans of fan films to me interact and kind of, it feels so natural and it feels so earned. It's really cool, and it's something that in a lot of ways. I'm excited for Morales in the same way as to see.
Oh shit! I'm like,
I know you caught you slacking.
I was reading through the entire chat, and then as soon as you said Morales, I'm like, oh shit! Someone mentioned it to me.
Something I'm excited to see is Miles, who is his own person, who is his own Spider-Man, interact with your Spider-Man, Eric, who's kind of gone on his own journey of self-discovery, and without getting too much into it, is. I think that's what makes Miles and Peter's relationship interesting is that Eric said they're not sidekick and mentor, they're partners because they're both fully fleshed out people.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. One thing I definitely... Oh, go ahead, Eric.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, with just Morales and Spider-Gwen, something that I just really... Hold on to that thought, Sipho, because I'm just going to say this quick thing and then
don't worry. Go ahead.
One thing that I really like is Phase 1 is very much focused on the Peters of the Spider-Verse. So my Peter, Sean's Peter, and then Peter's Peter / Otto, because it is Peter Parker's body and Peter Parker's universe. So I like how Phase 1 kind of introduces your typical Spider-Man that everyone comes to expect, and then Log Day comes around and is like, here's how crazy we're getting with Log Date for me is amazing because it's our first little introduction as to how crazy this Spider-Verse can get, because we're introduced to yet another Peter Parker, but it's oh yeah, but this one has his mind taken over by Doc Ock, so he's not Peter Parker, he's typically Otto, and we mess with it. And then with Phase 2, it's Spider-Gwen, Miles Morales, we get introduced to a whole bunch of new spiders, and I think it's really cool because it shows that the Spider-Verse is so much more than just Peter Parker. Anyways, Sipho?
What I was going to say is, piggybacking off of what Peter had said about how Miles has become such a, Miles is on this journey of self-discovery. It's crazy to think, how far, from those first test scenes that you sent me from my audition with what was originally going to be in Spectacular Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I see some test reads.
Yeah, it's crazy to see how much Miles has changed from that. It's very interesting.
It's always cool to see how your stuff evolves, just throughout the process of from the beginning conception to what it ends up being. It's always super interesting to me because
it's very much.
Oftentimes, what you first are thinking about doing it barely resembles what the final result is, and that's always
exactly. I can't lie. Originally in those first early All-Star drafts, Miles was gonna be the happiest, most just, hey guys, oh dude, I'm Spider-Man, I love you. But I was like, nah, I gotta make this nigga depressed. I gotta make this nigga hate everybody. I was like, how much can I make Miles so how much can I torture this character for his first movie? And I feel
that too with Dead No More. I'm going that route.
It was like I didn't want to go on the line of like straight torture porn where it's like his dad dies and then fucking his dog gets hit by a car. Like, no, I mean, I didn't want to I didn't want to do all of that, but it was like I really wanted to what is it? I really wanted to
hit his dog with a car.
That was in the suggestion book. In like one of the scenes with Kate would be like, "My dog just got hit by a car, Kate. What am I gonna do?" But one thing I was really excited on doing was really just sort of being able to truly grow Miles into this mirror of Peter Parker and who he once was, while also retaining that idea of that, yeah, he's his own dude and he's on his own journey of making sense of the world that he's in, whether it be the fact that he lives with actual superheroes and he fights an Avenger, or, you know, having to grapple with morality and the fact that even though his father was taken away from him by people, you know, that are evil, you know, like he still grows out of that and learns to sort of realize that the idea that second chances can be given to more than one archetype of people, or the idea that, you know, it's not in his power to be the judge, jury, and executioner on whether or not people deserve what he thinks they deserve. It's going to be very interesting because I think Miles is very much. Why does Siri keep up? Nobody was talking to me, man. Nonetheless, I think it's going to be very interesting to see sort of how much, especially with. I think the Peter scenes are some of my favorites to write too, with how much. You know, I think Eric truly we get to see how much Peter's grown as well, while seeing, you know, like he's like, damn, this dude just like me for real.
Well, I think that's Sipho is the way that like your two different versions of Spider-Man kind of interact and how they fall into these different like character issues and like situation, all these pickles they get themselves into. You know what I mean? Like, because that's part of becoming Spider-Man. It's its own kind of tough situation and everything, but I love the way that, from what you've told me, because I've read your scripts, I've not said before, but I have read your scripts and I really love them. I think they're so cool.
More appreciative. I couldn't be more appreciative, especially with like how
man, you're doing your art, and I think it's so cool to see your passion. I also really want to quickly say something, just to direct to Sean 2 seconds, is I think something you do really well, Sean, in your Spider-Man movies is do a really good job at giving this physical manifestation of Peter Parker's internal conflicts. And I think in Dead No More, I think that is the perfect way of showcasing not only your acting abilities, but your writing abilities at Peter Parker. And I know you and I have talked about this, is I adore what you do with Peter Parker in Dead No More. It's the same thing as like Sipho said in regards to it being this one thing and then being more like that. Is I love the journey that your Peter Parker goes on.
I appreciate that. It's definitely something that is a really cool arc that I wanted to do, and I'm excited for everybody to see it.
For sure. Oh, like, and I can talk honestly about Morales. I really don't mean to hog up the, you know, from the OGs, the veterans and shit. Man. But it's like
veterans. Come on.
It's so just weird that, like, you know, with how you got this, all you guys' work is culminating to something, and it's like I'm coming in and I get to add to that. It's so crazy to me. Like, and I think I'm really excited to see how Miles' arc is sort of truly fleshed out throughout the 4 films that he's in, which is, you know, Morales, Spectacular Spider-Verse, Spider-Man Morales 2, and then Morales 3. They have different, and just as a heads up, I'm not doing like Morales 3, Morales 2, Morales 2
going to be Morales 2 Electric Weberoo?
I'll tell you the working title of it, which is
I just said, obviously.
I know what it is. You told me, and I like it a lot.
No, I'm actually curious to hear. Please.
The working title for right now, Spider-Man 2. I did change it, Eric, but right now it is Mirror Mirror.
Ooh, I like that a lot. Actually, quite honestly,
I'm very excited to see it. I'm not going to reveal too much, but just know that Spider-Man 2 it's a romance film for sure. It's very much a film about trauma, loss, grief. It follows similar themes that are built up in Morales and what Miles goes through. But I will tell you one thing I'm very excited to do is that Morales 2 is very much Kate's movie. It's very much her movie, and how we see her deal with the repercussions of not only being involved with Spider-Man and having to deal with the double life, but as well as the mental stress that came with her own personal life. And it's very interesting. It's very interesting for me to put something. I've talked about it on my channel with my what Spider-Man means to me video, so I can pretty much talk about it if you've seen that video. But with sort of the domestic trauma that I had from when I was way younger, like 10, 12 years ago, it's like being able to put that into something that's truly positive, and also find a way, the way I've healed, being able to give that to a character and hopefully give that to somebody else in the world who has had similar experiences to me and goes through similar experiences. It's really interesting. I think out of all I love the entire trilogy. I love everything we have cooked up, but I think the second one is definitely the most emotionally resonant, personal, and honestly the most emotionally brutal, because I think with what the characters go through in that one, especially, it's gonna like it. I think that I've never cried like writing any of my scripts, but like it just hits so close to home a lot of what these characters go through, and I truly. Like, I'm lying when I say I haven't cried like reading any of my scripts. The last scene in the new draft of Morales honestly had me in tears. But yeah, I think with what I have planned, I should be talking about the future anyway, considering like Morales 2 is like 3 years from now. But it's just we truly have such a strong vision and such a strong grasp on what we want to do with this character and how it like sort of works symbiotically with the Spectacular Spider-Verse. It's gonna be a treat, man. I truly
really cool.
have.
It's super dope that you have like everything planned out from the beginning. Like you got like an idea for each movie in the trilogy.
Dude, Sipho has a plan, dude. That's really something cool. I absolutely love.
Oh yeah,
about you, dude. Because like, I'll be like, we'll just be talking, and I'll be like, hey man, have you ever thought about that idea? And he's like, yeah, that happens in Morales 3, and I'm like, Morales 3. I'm like, bro, the first one's still being written.
To be fair, Sipho, I kind of feel that in the same way, though I have a different thing with Log Date. I have a definitive ending point, which is getting to Spider-Verse. That's
exactly.
I know how Otto is in Spider-Verse. I know what his character is and what his motives are and like things about him. So part of Log Date, like these 3 parts I have, is knowing the Otto I have now has to become the Otto of Spider-Verse. And how do I get him there? How do I tell the story that I want to tell with him? So I totally understand this idea of like building up all these ideas so that you can build your character where you want to take them. But to be fair, like Sean, the way that we've talked about like projects and stuff with your Spider people and like you and Eric and like Kane and everything, and these concepts you have for them and where you take them is always really impressive. And same thing with you, Eric. Okay. Like, once again, I cannot get into stuff, but both of you all have these such amazing paths for your characters, and each of them feels so in character for what you're doing. Also, just to someone said Sipho is Miles and Peter's Otto is my dream relationship. I don't know if it's I don't know, man. I think Otto and Miles would be an interesting team up. Bro. What's up?
No, Sipho made a funny face when you started
talking about right. That. Well, relationship, I was thinking partnership in the
sense. Oh, yeah, no, trust me. I was thinking partner. I was thinking partnership.
We do a big punch together.
Woo! I did not know my speaker that was that loud when it was
going. We do a big punch. But
me and my Spider-Man and Sipho's Spider-Man, their bond, and then imagine like taking mine out of it and like having Otto sub in as Miles' partner. That'd be so funny.
It's so funny too, because I can't lie, Miles is such a dick. Like the way he's written, he's such a like. I know Peter Parker is like supposed to be kind of like he's like a nice asshole, but Miles is just kind of like an asshole. I hate to say it, but even in the newer draft, he's snarky to his mom. He's pretty much a dick to everybody. But I mean, he cares.
But that's his arc, though.
Yeah, that's his art. That's his art. But like even with like Peter, I can't lie. I've had like ideas that just flew through my head that'll have me like crying. It's like where we're in the midst of like battle and whatnot, and your Peter's like, "Oh my god, guys, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen." And Miles is like, "Peter, shut up. We need to plan." And like just stuff like that. Like Miles is kind of being like, "Yo, bitch, later. What are we gonna do about like everybody just do everything happening right now? Like this is chaos."
We very good cop, bad cop the scenario, which is really fun.
I would like to question by friend of the channel, Josh Tosh. I don't know if there will be any room for the superhero spotters. How's your dog doing, by the way?
No. Oh, Josh's dog.
Josh, how you doing, man?
Sucks.
Legit.
I hate Josh's dog. Josh, real quick, the superhero spotters are always welcome. Real quick, I just want to mention something real quick. Somebody a while ago in the chat said, with me, Peter, and Sean, Peter is Tobey Maguire, Sean is Andrew Garfield, and I'm Tom Holland. Me and Peter and Sean have literally had this conversation so many times before, and that is the exact same thing we did.
And I'm like, Tobey Maguire because I too hate the wait staff when I'm playing poker.
No, but
there's a fucking card right there.
Even in Spider-Verse, like there's this with the camaraderie of all the characters. Otto is very much the oldest, like the most experienced, the most
that's
mature.
The legitimate, like
Sean's Spider-Man,
just like Peter, an old man in the body of a younger guy.
Oh, dude, I'm a sad divorced dad.
Sean's Spider-Man is the definition of the middle child, which I think is really funny.
Yeah,
and my Spider-Man,
the unloved adopted middle child.
He's like, listen, I'm just gonna go listen to Breaking Benjamin in my room. Leave me alone. Really quick, two things.
And my Spider-Man is easily the youngest brother.
Oh god, yeah, definitely. Eric, I love your youngest sibling.
Yeah, Andrew Garfield has always been like the prime like Spider-Man character. That and like maybe like Josh Keaton's Spectacular Spider-Man were the biggest like inspirations for the way I play Spider-Man personally.
Holland and Peter B. Parker for me.
Yeah, so I'm glad that people notice those. At least mostly the Andrew Garfield side of it.
You're very Andrew Garfield.
100%.
Sean, you give off Andrew Garfield vibes. Someone said, and I agree, but also you give off the vibes of someone who would sit down and go, actually, Linkin Park and Breaking Benjamin are very different bands, and you wouldn't understand the deep complexities of their history.
That's not what I said, man. That's not at all what I said.
Like, actually, Linkin Park has changed their style over the course of their entire history. Yeah. No, but I agree in the sense that Eric, your Spider-Man has golden retriever energy.
Who does? Which one?
Oh, very much in Back to Basics.
Eric Elliott
very much
golden retriever energy. I think it's really, and I think in Spider-Verse you get a taste of it. And the way I describe Otto is that he's your older brother that went to college and he's doing a startup, and he's probably more successful than you, but he's not doing the best.
Yeah, that's oddly specific, but right on the money.
Sean, I'm not a werewolf. Yeah, Sean, you are Andrew Garfield.
I don't even know what I need. I don't even know what I am. I'm just like, I'm really just Miles. I just pull up here, man. I'm really just like, I pull up. I'm like, yo, what's up, guys? Let's lock in real quick. Oh, bye, guys. Go back to your university. I shit, and that's just it.
You're the youngest brother's best friend that he like constantly has over to the house, and the other two brothers just don't know how to react.
You know where everything in the house is because you're there.
Exactly. I literally just walk in.
You're taking plates out of
You're like taking food out of the fridge. It's like, oh, what's up, man?
Like too cool.
Hey, I'm gonna quickly hold this orange for you, bro. Hey, yeah. And then he's like, hey, cool, bro. Meanwhile, Sean.
And then Sean Spider-Man is like, who is that guy? And I'm like, oh, it's Miles. Don't worry about it.
Exactly. Like who the fuck is this nigga, yo? And then you just see me take a banana and he's like, walk out.
Sean,
hey,
that's exactly what you say. Word for word. Oh, Sean, someone said that you have Andrew Garfield hair, and I definitely agree.
Yeah, that was Bryn for sure. I can see it, especially when it's longer, like in the end of Dead No More, when it's a bit longer.
Oh, Dead No More, the end of your hair is peak Garfield.
100%. Yeah, I can't beat Jeremy.
Peak Garfield. He hates Mondays.
He's like, I love lasagna.
Lasagna.
Lasagna. I barely know her. I love the dead silence that accompanied that joke.
That was a dad joke and a half, but I respect it. I respect it.
I heard a few
Dad.
crickets
Not
personally,
really.
but
Yeah, I'm really just like I really am that just like younger brother's best friend. Like, hey Miles, hey, what's up, bro? Who is this dude? Oh, don't worry, bro. I'm just here to lock in real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Throw on the old all-star suit and just keep it pushing. I love the all-star suit. I might just throw it on just because it's literally lying right beside me.
That's a great suit.
That's
a
really
great suit.
funny.
You know what? Give me like 5 minutes.
All right, you got this, man.
let's all put on our suits again.
To be
Like
fair,
that one
it's
live
funny
stream.
because the superior suit
Remember that,
is
Eric?
in a bag next to me on the ground, but my camera doesn't work. So, oh no.
I'm not
alas.
putting on my suit. You guys can
No.
look at it right there.
I've
That's
watched you put it on in person, and I don't think I've ever watched you.
Fun
just
fact:
be more...
Eric actually hates wearing Spider-Man suit.
I hate it.
Ever seen someone look so miserable to do something they love?
That is,
It's almost like he's playing Overwatch.
The back to basics suit is very uncomfortable because it's like tailored like directly to me, which
It is tight.
is a bad idea. I should have left the room
gotta
for
get
some
it a bit
slack.
looser.
Yeah,
Little
I should have
loosey-goosey.
left the room for some slack, and also like where I didn't leave room for slack. When the mask is over the facial like
dude,
jams
tight,
into my
bro.
face. Like we take the facial
When I
off
put
at the
my
end of shooting,
face
and there'd be
on and I
marks in
have
my
it on
face.
for like a good hour, there's a nice couple indents like right
Oh,
here and
dude,
here.
the circles on Sean's
The circle-
head looks like Frankenstein's monsters.
Honestly,
bolts.
bro.
So funny. One of my favorite things is that my suit fits really well because it was also tailored to my body to an extent, but like I gambled hard with if it would
You
fit.
did,
Matt.
bro.
The look of disappointment in Sean's face when I say this is so funny.
It's like the look when I had the flash suit on for the first time.
Dude, that's my listen.
We don't talk about your
That is my
flash suit.
favorite. That is my favorite photo of you that exists, Sean.
It's a
because
really funny pic.
It's so funny out of context.
I'm so happy we have this shared Spider-Verse now because that DC universe we were planning went down the drain so fast because of that Flash suit.
Oh, Eric Lloyd.
It wasn't
God.
just because of the flash suit. We started just doing a bunch of Marvel stuff and like.
Oh yeah, and I
we
would
figured we'd get more traction
Eric,
out of that.
To be fair, I think the Flash suit did hurt a lot of the enthusiasm.
I think it did really.
Oh, it killed
I
my
think it-
enthusiasm. I don't ever want to touch a Flash thing again. No, I'm kidding.
Because I had the Green Lantern ring like on the go, like I was waiting.
I was about to
And
get a
then
Flash ring too.
Yeah, and we were like, oh, we got to plan a whole shared DC universe. It's gonna be great. And then that Flash costume came in, the one that would cost like you so much money,
Yeah.
and it was just awful. And then that killed Eddie.
Suit's fine. It's the
Well, the
mask.
suit, it's the helmet.
The
yeah,
suit, the suit, like the helmet was like 100% unsalvageable. Like I could not use that fucking thing. But I guess the actual Flash suit would have like with some tailoring and like
you could wear
some
it to a
fixing it up,
Comic-Con,
it could
Sean.
work.
Legit, you could
It's
wear it and
super
you could go
wrinkly.
as Grant
I mean,
Gustin.
and it's like leather, so I can't really iron it. So I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna get the wrinkles out. But
Legit, you could wear it to a Comic-Con and be Grant Gustin's.
dude,
CW
everyone
as the
says I look
Flash.
like Grant Gustin too.
Yeah, I loved you in Glee. Also, Eric Lloyd thinks the Jackal mask is terrible to wear, and
He's
that is
wrong.
why we continue to force it at him.
Exactly. You love.
I
the
would
Jackal
not have
mask,
been,
Eric, don't lie.
Buddy, Sean would not be Aquaman. I'm the lifeguard of the three of us. I would be Aquaman.
Yeah.
Sean would be the Flash, and Eric's Green Lantern. Realistically, I'm a Superman guy. Superman's my boy.
Right. No, I think definitely switch me and Eric, or not a switch, but no, Eric would have been the good Green Lantern, and then I would have been a good Flash.
That would be a great The Riddler.
Facts.
Sipho,
he's in the
first of all,
All right,
love
thanks,
the
Bryn.
drip.
Thanks, Bryn.
The
I'll
Spider-Verse
look
brings
into
a
that.
villain. Okay, my other question could be this: Spider-Verse brings a villain that could be powerful like Morlun. I don't really understand what you're saying there. I'm going to interpret you meant like, will the Spider-Verse bring in a villain that's super powerful like Morlun? I said earlier in the stream that I'm not revealing the villain to Spider-Verse yet. That'll be till after Back to Basics comes out. But, that being said, the villain of Spider-Verse isn't exactly super powerful, but he's very personal. And I think that makes it, that makes him just as dangerous.
True.
Can we reveal who the villain isn't, or is that also like line into like
Sure.
spoils?
I guess we could say who it isn't.
It's not Morlun,
It's not Morlun, no.
not the
And-
Inheritors.
It's not Superior Spider-Man either.
It's Ralph.
Superior
Boner,
Spider-Man
bro.
plays a bit of an antagonistic role, but he's not really he's antagonist in the moral conflict of the story.
His
but he's
view of
not
the
out here
world,
throwing heads with the characters. You know what I mean?
Superior Spider-Man's view of the world, because of how he became who he is in direct confliction with Eric and Sean's version of Spider-Man and their universe's version of what is good, what is bad, what is morally thing. There's an antagonistic sense to it, but no, Otto is not the big man. It is Big Wheel, by the way. Everyone's saying Big Wheel. It's Big Wheel. Sorry.
It's Big Wheel. Damn it! Who leaked it?
Dude. Also, Josh, I would love a Plastic Man movie. Bill Hader as Plastic Man would kind of go hard.
Yes.
Honestly, again, I think it would work. I don't know, man. Listen, we won't get into the current DC lineup of things, but I think James Gunn could give us a really good Plastic Man movie. He's a bit of a D-string person. I think it would rock. Yeah. Well, to be fair, 2099 in the new trailer is definitely taking on the energy that Otto had in the original comic run, where he's kind of assembling his own team of spider people who are a bit more, shall we say, morally conflicted.
Oh, yes, that too.
I love the comic run. Sean, do you still have the comic? We bought it when we were down in Canada.
I do. It's right below, like, in the little shelf on my nightstand.
Nice. Because I have a poster of it. I bought a poster of the Spider-Verse cover.
Oh, dude, our Spider-Verse poster gonna go so hard. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
I'm trying to find a place to put that poster. Because my walls are covered in art of stuff I've bought. I'm trying to find a place to put a good poster.
If you want to put it in my room, you can.
Yeah, you want me Hey, we're gonna put in that just nonsense talk from we're gonna put in that Scorpion poster I got you.
Where am I gonna put it? I have no clue.
Okay. Anyway,
maybe
also
on the wall where the Eagle poster used to be.
I do see, Sean, you do have a bit of Dick Grayson vibes.
I can see Dick Grayson. I can see Dick Grayson.
I always saw you as more a Jason Todd.
Yeah, because I'm the little edgy boy. I could probably do that.
You'd steal the wheels off the Batmobile.
Real quick, guys. What do you say? 10 more minutes of the live stream, and then.
Yeah, I'd say about 15.
You
I think.
You just hate the fans.
Yeah, sure. We'll go till 12:30 your time.
Yeah, that works. I think 12:30 our time is a solid choice.
Yeah, just because both my phone and computer are running out of battery.
You not having plugged in? Mine just plugged in.
No. If the way my laptop's set up is
Rare Peter technology W right there.
Hey, I know, right? Like my computer is the best, most updated piece of technology I own, and even despite that, its camera doesn't work. Leave me alone.
So yeah, if you guys have any questions, fit it in now. Ooh, is Spectacular Spider-Verse poster going to be a multiverse type poster? I assume so.
Oh man, that's gonna go hard.
It's gonna. I was just saying earlier.
I gotta wait for the. Can't say that spoilers. But I gotta wait for
single-handedly keeping wins and money.
Dude,
that's true.
Sean alone.
The amount of money that's true. I've given Wens, bro. All well worth it.
But I just gotta wait for a few more costumes to arrive, and then I can probably get a Spider-Verse poster made. Which the costumes are supposed to be coming soon. That being said, viewers, you guys probably won't see this poster for another year, but me and Sean and Peter and Sipho will have it, and we will be like, "Hey guys, look! Oh my god!
It'll be my iPhone. It'll be my computer background for months before it's released.
Dude, same. I want to get it I want to send it to some sort of poster website and then send you guys each a poster you can put up.
Oh, dude, I would definitely put that up on my wall. I don't know where.
The Dead No More thumbnail I want to show so bad, but I
don't. Oh, that's so good. Don't show it. Don't show it. But it's so good. It's so cool. It is. That's the best. That's the best piece that you've gotten yet.
100%.
I think it's the best thumbnail in the whole Spider-Verse.
That one,
you think so?
Sean, that one that was sent today. Also very solid.
Yeah, definitely can't talk about that one.
I really can't talk about that one.
That's the one that
spoiler.
Yeah,
that's a big no-no, but it is a poggers thing.
Would any of you fine gents want a cameo in my fan film? we're not beyond it, like cameos and stuff, but just we're all very busy.
I think the timing's gonna line up for that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Buy me a plane ticket. I'll do whatever.
He likes. This guy finds it funny how in the multiverse you are both Harry and Otto.
It is fun. Well, I'm not technically Otto. There's a different person in my universe playing original.
That's true.
He's more
original Otto Octavius.
You're both Goblin and Spider-Man.
I am both Goblin and Spider-Man.
Which is funny because a lot of comments on like responsibility and a bunch of these movies I've always been like, that Peter guy, he would make a good he'd make a good Peter Parker, the guy who plays Harry.
That's one thing I will say. It's not much of a spoiler. In the future log date installment, you will get a look at original recipe Peter Parker and what makes him different than Otto Octavius, and I get to play double duty, which is really fun. And then that's something I'm gonna be getting into with like log date 2 and 3 and everything, is you as the audience seeing my take on Peter Parker and how it is very different than my take on Superior Spider-Man and everything. Right. It's going to be fun.
It's very cool.
I need the next 2 episodes now.
Honestly, bro.
Here's
a cool thing. I'm actually going to reveal this really quick to our 18 concurrent viewers, is that I have the Dead No More final runtime, which is really sick.
Yes!
Yes!
It's going to be an hour and 25 minutes, so that's pretty cool. We have one more shoot day, which is tomorrow. Actually, we're wrapping production.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Shit!
Tomorrow,
I didn't know you were wrapping tomorrow.
We're wrapping tomorrow.
I did, but I'm happy to hear. Also, Menacing Studios. Are there any upcoming Spider-Man fan films you guys are looking forward to? Personally, I'm looking forward to
all of
damn it, Eric! I was gonna do a bit. Let me do my bit.
I mean, honestly, I made a video about that not too long ago about all the.
Yeah, Sean actually did a really good video about this. He mentioned my fan film in that video, but that's okay.
Yeah, because that's fucking biased.
So now you're supporting a fellow artist. No, it was. I know we talked about. It was legit a really good video, guys, and you should check it out because you don't just like list them off. You go into depth about what you like about the different things and what makes them interesting. I think it's a really good video.
Real quick, something I do want to say is, I feel like we haven't talked about Dead No More enough this stream, and Dead No More is absolutely incredible. I talked about it a bit on my story recently, but I still haven't seen all of Dead No More. But I've seen individual scenes. I've read the script. I helped come up with the story for Dead No More.
You did. You gave me a lot of good ideas for like themes and stuff that was.
Yeah. And everything that Sean showed me, like all the shots, all the fight scenes, the acting, the cinematography. There's this one montage thing. That's all I'm saying. It's a montage. Not saying anything else. Absolutely fantastic. It's it's probably the most emotionally fueled thing in our Spider-Verse yet. It's the darkest movie in our Spider-Verse yet, and I mean that in a good way, a very good way. And the way it kind of wraps up this 3-movie clone saga thing that Sean has been building up to as this ultimate culmination with all the clones and the Jackal and things like that, and how it all ties back to the previous films. It really just is a masterpiece, and I think it will, even in years' time when the Spectacular Spider-Verse is done and we've all moved on to different things, I think people, hopefully if they're still watching it, will look back on it and go, yeah, that's one of the best in the entire universe, in the entire cinematic universe, because it is absolutely incredible. Kane is fantastic. All the actors are fantastic. The characters are great. And the way it plays with different genres and tropes, like diving into horror, diving into
the horror aspects are so well done, man.
Nature and phenomenal stuff like that. It's just a really damn well-made movie. And I cannot wait for February 12th for you guys to see it, because from everything that I've seen, it'll blow your mind.
I'm super proud of it. It's definitely the best overall project that I've ever done, I think, and everybody involved in the process just put their absolute all into this movie, and I can't thank them enough for it. The fact that we got a feature-length, hour-and-a-half long movie done within 7 months is crazy to me, and the fact that it's the best movie we've ever done, Nobody slacked. Everybody like gave it their all, and I can't
That's
think
top
enough
notch,
of that.
man. And you as a director, I think, just killed it. And I said it earlier. I did talk about it. I would like to say I threw much buckets of praise on you because you deserve it. But I think everyone is going to be so shocked by how vulnerable and committed your specific performance as Spider-Man is within this film. I think it's really cool.
No, thank you.
It's true, man.
Sipho, do you have a question? You're muted, dude. I think you've been muted for a while.
Oh, shit.
Oh, dude, I'm glad y'all didn't hear me saying those racial slurs. And anywho, what I was going to say was, well, damn, I forgot everything I was going to say, and I was on mute, so I didn't hear me say it. But I was complimenting you, Sean, because what I've seen of Dead No More looks so good. The last trailer,
Great
like,
trailer, amazing.
That shit had me going standing up like, yep.
Hey,
And that shit was so good, bro.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
Like, I'm telling you. Like, and what I was going to quickly say is, I lost the question because I was reading through the entire chat again. But, damn. Wait. That's why I shouldn't have changed the costume, because now I lost track of where I was at. Wait. Scrolling down. So, one thing I really wanted to talk about when it came to sort of the chemistry thing, when it came to like what Zero said, when he says, "Are there any plans on all four of you guys will interact in the future because I love you guys' chemistry together? Do you guys have any idea on any different versions of Spider-Man will interact?" What I wanted to say is I've very much been and Eric knows I mean this in the most respectful way possible. I've been very vocal with how, of course, we've both been very vocal with one another on how we want our adaptations to be written in, in our different films. As Eric, our writing styles are different, and that's not to say it's a bad thing, because I as a writer, I've very much started to lean towards, a lot of realistic sort of, while Eric's films are very much more on the comic booky.
You'd fit right in the Buckeye verse.
Huh?
Hey, back off. He's in my
universe.
Right
in the Buckeye verse.
Hey, you wanna fight some just real sewer rat type people? We're killing it over here.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Come on over, bud.
That's one thing I've truly could be so thankful for. Like, just the idea that I said in the video, being able to be a part of this, something this huge, and I'll say it many times again, being able to be a part of this and have my Miles sort of work with a bunch of different Spider-Men and Spider-Women, because I can't forget Spider-Gwen. I have a few quips in mind for Miles that I did want to poke. I do want to poke fun at Spider-Gwen and Spectacular Spider-Verse. I can't lie. I'm not going to reveal the quips I have in mind. I'll definitely text about it in the group chat. But I had a few quips I was going to poke in mind. And this depends. Like, it's been a lot. I'm getting off track. Let me shut the fuck up.
Fun of the only woman in the movie? Come on, man.
No, I had quips on everybody. Don't get it twisted. Trust me, everybody. I had a quip on Otto where it was like, "I see you copied my color scheme," and he was gonna call Otto a bitch, and that was about it.
Yeah, I had this really great quip in mind. He was gonna call him a bitch.
No, he was gonna be like, when he saw Otto, he was like, "Peter, this dude copied my color scheme." And
I like Otto doesn't quip. That is one thing I can say about it.
He's strictly business.
He's like, "This dude copied my color
which is
scheme.
very
What
in
the hell,
character for him.
man?"
I mean, he's more annoyed at the quips than anything.
Yeah, like
he's just like, stop quipping.
Like fucking, like Miles walks in, "This dude copied my color scheme. What the hell, man?" And I was just like, "I didn't copy anything."
He's like, "I'm smarter than all of you combined. I do not care."
I thought of this before you were even spitting up formula, and like fucking storms off. And then I was just like, "He's kind of a bitch. I'm sorry." Like that.
Answer. Sorry, I interrupted you. Apologies.
Oh no, you're fine.
Oh no, I love. First off, I just love that you're in your Miles suit. I think that's so cool.
Yeah,
I love this thing. It's kind of hot. I can't lie.
I like your gloves, by the way. I think you're the. I say as a Buckeye fan.
Like I said, fingerless gloves.
Fingerless.
Come on over, bro. Come on. You live closer to me than Eric. No, I'm kidding.
That's true, objectively. Oh, really quick, Isaiah asked, I am making a log date. I'm going to be making in a couple weeks. I'm going to be doing a really big post about supporting characters and villains that are going to be in Log Date. So just like that is, I have some casting. I have some plans for that. So yeah, there is going to be 2 more Log Date sequels. So that's fun.
It's about to reach 12:30. I do. You know what? I'm gonna make the announcement here and here only, and this is just a stream thing only. I'm not gonna immediately. I'm not gonna post about the official announcement for like the release
shit!
date.
I didn't even know about this. What's up?
Yeah.
Oh no, trust me. I kept this secret from you too because I didn't want to be. I didn't want to like. It's not a bad secret. Trust me. But
okay, I was a little worried. I was like, oh god, we're the same universe. What are you gonna reveal?
It's a very exciting. It's like
I'm
production
leaving the
All right.
Spider-Verse.
I'm leaving. Yeah.
Fucking like, guys, I'm really excited to announce that I'm no longer part of Spectacular Spider-Verse. And it's just like,
I'm going back to
you
my
just see
own
me like,
thing. Yeah, exactly.
I look like Christopher McQuarrie watching Tom Cruise do that jump behind the monitor.
Yeah,
So
that's a
like
joke
this.
just for me, isn't it?
Well, and anyone who's watched that
That's
video.
true.
I have seen that video.
It's a great
great
video.
video.
What's your
What's
announcement?
the announcement?
I'm
gotta
very
hear this.
excited to announce that as of right now, Spider-Man Morales is slated for an October 27th, 2023 release.
Well, that's awesome.
We have
That's
scheduled
sick.
production the entire way through. Production starts late January. Couldn't be more excited to get started. I will tell you this: we're not filming any of the Spider-Man scenes till after. We're knocking out all of the Miles scenes, and then we're gonna get to me behind the costume. And
That's
Eric,
cool, man.
I'm gonna quickly text this to you in the Zoom chat because I can do that here. I'm gonna
In the
quickly,
Zoom chat. Okay, let's see this.
Yeah.
First of all,
Zoom chat.
awesome. Look, counting the seconds till October 27th.
That's gonna be
It's gonna be
Facts,
so
facts.
crazy. You like I'm telling you, and I'm not gonna give you guys a trailer, but expect the trailer by at least May. Because
Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome,
let's
shit.
go.
by that time,
Bro's
we'll
gonna be
have-
on the grind. Let's
I'm telling
go.
you, I'm telling you, I'm gonna have this out. It's gonna be crazy.
Oh man, that makes me so excited, dude. 2023 is gonna be stacked for Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
Dead No
it's
More,
stacked for a
Back to
lot of
Basics.
things.
Dead No More, Back to Basics, Morales, Spider-Gwen. Probably the next 2 episodes of Log Date.
Something that we
Holy
can't
shit.
get into right now.
Say big January release things. I want to get rid of this.
You can talk about that.
All right, I just wanted to be sure. I'm not gonna reveal too much, but just know that the kid that collects Spider-Man, it has a scene, but a very huge part in Miles' story arc of Spider-Man. I'm very excited to say that it connects within the. I'm sorry. I was reading Brian's comment. But I'm very excited to see how that show how that ties into Miles' arc. It's something that has not been done before. Tim Harrison's always been a very, Peter Parker-centered character, in which I'm not going to say that Tim Harrison, is now a Miles Morales-centered character because he still has faith in Peter Parker. But the way, and even working with Eric and finding a way to sort of merge that together and have, Miles, learn from Peter's actions that I think it's a very beautiful scene. It's probably my favorite Spider-Man scene as it is in the entire script because it truly showcases, what I think Spider-Man means to people and what I think, how it affects Miles' arc, what Spider-Man means to people, Spider-Man means to me, and what I think it means to, us in this call as people who are making Spider-Man movies and their Spider-Man plans, people who are alive. It's
Absolutely,
very
man.
much a love letter to everything that I love about Spider-Man, and that's probably my favorite Spider-Man scene in the entire movie. I love all the scenes where he's kicking ass because I'm not gonna lie, Miles is a total brawler. He actually I think Peter is a very agile fighter. He's very quick and decisive. But Miles, one thing with the fight choreography, I've been taking a lot of boxing classes for this as well. He's very much as soon as he sees an opening, it's like 3 hits, then he's backing out. He sees another opening, 5 hits, and then he's backing out. He's very much
Oh shit,
one of
that's
the
awesome.
He's
It's really
very
cool.
I also had him very much be in his fighting style. He's not as precise as Spider-Man would normally be. He's very much a street fighter. He's very much someone who was, and he definitely doesn't hold back. Say as Peter was when he when he was fighting Sinister Six and Power Responsibility. He was, he wasn't trying to he wasn't really fighting them. He would go in for a punch or two, but he was quickly trying to subdue all of them.
Yeah, Peter's very much a talker in Eric's universe, which I like.
I think that'll be a great juxtaposition between my Peter and Sifo's Miles. Is it is Sipho's Miles. It is very much good cop, bad cop, because my Spider-Man loves to talk. Like, he very much fighting is the last resort. Whereas your Miles is like, nah, get over here.
Yeah, no, and Morales, like, he cracks a few jokes, but they're all like it's not like, hey, what's up?
Mean.
They're all so mean. I can't lie.
Listen,
like,
from what you said,
your Spider-Man has the best bars, like the best
dig it.
roasts out of any
just
of them.
calling people
awesome.
a bitch. Keep spitting them. I will. I know we're near the time, but can I pull an old Buckeye tradition out of the hat and finish off the Q&A by just doing one question from me to the rest of the people? This is Sean knows this tradition.
Oh, I know.
Final question of the final question
Late Night
just
from Peter Herbal. This is an old Buckeye Studios tradition.
Absolutely.
Out of all of
Getting
your
nostalgic
individual
over here.
kind of lines of dialogue, Sipho, since you haven't made a Morales yet, you can steal one from your script.
Yeah.
What's your line of dialogue that your Spider person has said in one of your movies?
I'm looking at the script
I
right
don't think
now.
I could really get into that.
So we'll put you last then,
because
since
it's in
you have to
Dead
look
No
it up.
More.
Oh no, I know I have my scene right here. I have
All
my
right,
scene
Sean,
right here.
let's start with you.
I was gonna say I don't know if I can really get into it because it might be a spoiler. That's kind
You
of
can't do Dead No More. You got to do From Best of Enemies
fuck.
or Responsibility.
Yeah, because my favorite one is in Spider-Verse, but I can't
my
say
favorite
it.
one is in
Yeah.
Dead No More. Shit. Okay.
Second favorite one.
Also in Dead No More. I'd have to go to maybe like my sixth favorite one, which is in BOE.
Your favorite one from BOE.
Let me go through the scenes here. I don't remember much.
I got mine. I definitely.
All right,
have.
let's go Sipho. Give these guys time to think.
I forgot to even announce this, but Agent Phil Coulson is also in Morales, and there's a scene where him and Spider-Man and Phil Coulson are talking, and when Coulson's about to leave, Miles says, "Well, wait, before you go, you can take this with you," and he like flips him off, and then he keeps it pushing. that was probably like my favorite line, right?
I think my favorite line from BOE was when I tell Peter's Harry Osborn that he looks like crap. That's probably my favorite one.
I don't know why I love making my Spider-Man so mean. Like he's such a dick to Morbius when he first meets him. It's so fun.
Okay, here we go. Actually, in BOE, I have
Sean?
mine for BOE. It's the little monologue that I say to Gwen about like how I never even saved anybody in my time as being Spider-Man up to that point. I think that's
I love that. I love that monologue.
Great monologue, Sean,
really
and I
good.
think it serves really well as kind of a through line for Best of Enemies.
Right, definitely.
I know my favorite line in Best of Enemies is when he talks about he's too scared to graduate and how that serves as a metaphor of him unable to accept the responsibilities of being Spider-Man again.
Exactly.
That's my personal favorite.
My personal favorite line from Best of Enemies was, "Whoa, that is hot and buttery." That's a line.
That's a great line.
That's a great
I like
line.
my little improv line. I don't know, sell drugs.
Sells drugs.
Then
Peter,
Max Dillon out here selling heroin, cocaine.
Yeah, right.
I will say, in all seriousness, Sean, it is. I have to agree with Eric. It is the line about graduating and growing up and
it's
taking
honestly
on
that one and then the one that I mentioned are my.
I think both are such
Enemies.
good examples of your character. I think the one you chose especially serves really well as Peter kind of making a definitive statement about himself. But as the film progresses, he changes and he grows, and that's what's really great about that movie. Eric, what's for the things you've made? What's your line?
So my favorite in Spider-Verse, my favorite's in Spider-Verse, but I can't say it. But I'd say my second favorite is Peter Parker. It's not a complicated line. It's nothing complex, but just the context in which it's used, I really like. It's when Peter Parker says, "I can't change the past, but I can change the future, though," because it's one of those things where Peter Parker's unable to accept that he is responsible for his uncle's murder, and he's unable to accept his actions as a more vengeful Spider-Man. And it's not until he sits down with Flash Thompson, and Flash Thompson is there. He's like, "I'm so sorry for bullying you. I shouldn't have done that." And Peter Parker isn't ready to forgive him. And Peter Parker essentially says, "Well, what's done is done, and you can't change the past." And then Flash Thompson says, "But you can change the future." But he says, "But I can change the future." And in that moment, Peter Parker realizes that if Flash Thompson, despite the horrible person he's been, is capable of change, then he and all the people who have done wrong in his life, they are capable of change too. And he brings that line. He carries that line. I forget where he says it next in the movie. I think it's it's towards the end of the movie. He says, "I can't change the past, but I could change the future." Like he learns that lesson from Flash, and that is the the mantra that he carries with him to the rest of the movie.
It was when he was talking to Max at the end of the final thing.
I think this isn't a line from my Spider-Man, but this is a line from Rio. This is probably
Rio's so good in Morales.
She was probably like the best character to write when it comes to what she says.
I haven't read your script yet, man. You gotta send me that, or you did send me it. I gotta get to it still.
Yeah, Sean. No, I'm playing. My favorite line from her definitely has to be, "You've lost a lot more than any child ever should, but you've been so focused on everything you've lost that you haven't seen what comes with it." And she says, "With loss comes strength and tenacity, the ability to get back up and keep trying and to be stronger than you once were." And Miles is like, "But I don't know how, I don't know what to do." And then Miles just says, "Yes, you do. You've always known, and you've always been too afraid." And that she just leaves him with that. I think that has to be the best interaction, because that's when Miles really realizes that when Jefferson passed away. Wait, I gotta stop talking. I'm about to.
You'll spoil your own movie.
Yeah,
all right.
But that's cool with me. That's all I'm saying. I think that's my favorite line.
And on that cue, my computer's about to die.
I guess I won't do mine then. I was gonna say it's just auto.
Oh yeah, jeez, I'm so sorry, man.
Okay, the computer.
Okay, do yours.
Do
yours.
I think it's Otto's little monologue about walking the street with new legs and seeing the city with new eyes. Specifically, the line that gets me is, "Part of me wonders if Parker ever sat on this bench, if he ever pondered his place in history, ever questioned his actions, or wondered if he was ever meant to be Spider-Man at all. Now here I sit,
good.
Bro,
the victor, the one true lord of Parker's body. All these new feelings are useless. It does me no good to sit here and ponder meaningless platitudes. Forward. Only forward." And I think for me, that's
such a good line.
It is.
Very long.
That's crazy.
Oh, no, it's long, but it's long with a purpose, and I respect that shit heavily.
Thanks, man. And for me, Otto is it's this moment where he gets introspective for a moment. He begins to kind of think, what would Peter Parker been like? He's beginning to think like his enemy, and then he immediately stops himself from there. He's not allowing himself to grow. It's this mantra of forward, only forward, is stopping him from truly moving forward. He can't really escape this path that he holds on to. And I think that's something that I like is, and Sean captured it so well in the shot, is this just wide shot of Otto sitting on a bench in total darkness. The world around him is so much brighter, but he can't take himself from where he is. And I know Sean and Eric, they shoot with ratio bars, which are really cool and really cinematic. But for Log Date, one of the things that I wanted to do, and not only to make it visually stand out from their movies, is to do full screen for it, because it allows Otto to feel so much smaller within the context of these grandiose words he's saying. Someone in a review said he talks like a big nerd, and I think that is very true, because he is a nerd. He's Dr. Octopus, the biggest nerd of all time. And now that he's won, he's trying to sound cool. He's trying to sound poetic, but he's not. He's this very sad, pathetic guy that can't even let himself move on. And I think that's what I wanted to capture. And I also just like how that scene looks. And also the push into the jacket that brings out from the pull out to the doors is cool, and I enjoy that.
Yeah.
I love how that whole episode is just structured on such an empty victory with just this one lonely man. It's really cool.
So good.
Thanks, man.
So good.
Anyways,
we're really just happy about this, man. But yeah, we got to wrap up.
This was a great time. Yeah,
this was a very good time.
We got to make these more regular, guys. Let's do this.
I would love to do
this regularly. Yeah,
we gotta at least do this like once a month. We gotta get Emma in the next one for sure.
I was just about to say that we gotta get Emma.
But we gotta get you on PS4 sometime, bro.
Hey man, Eric's got my PS4. Yeah, just add me to a party. I'm there.
You gotta get on Fortnite.
No.
Yes.
I actually have the Tom Holland skin.
Oh, get wrecked, Eric. We gotta do Spider Squads.
Fuck
You
yeah,
have to. I have the
do
Battle
it.
Pass Spider-Man skin
Get
and the Tom Holland.
absolutely
Sipho, I
destroyed,
love
Eric.
you, bro.
Outvoted democracy.
I'm sorry, man. It had to be this way. You got to do what you got to do. What you got to do. No
Spider
disrespect, Peter.
Squads forever, baby. But yeah, thank you so everyone for listening to us
Real talk.
and
This was a ton of
experiencing
fun,
everything.
guys.
And
Yeah.
We love you
thank you all
guys
for
so
coming
much.
out.
Guys, this was amazing.
We love you guys so much. We're so happy we get to bring you this content, these films, these stories, this universe.
Exactly.
I think I speak on behalf of all of us when I say thank you so much for tuning in since day one. Even to me as a newcomer, the love y'all have given me has been so just immensely, just it's heartwarming.
We're happy
it's
to have
so
you
beautiful
here, dude.
to see this community
Always.
grow. And
Hey,
tune in.
We couldn't have picked anyone better to be our Miles.
I appreciate that, man.
Hey, I love you guys.
Also, Eric's computer's about to blow up or whatever.
Yeah, I think
Blow
it's just about to like detonate. You're just about to hear it start beep, beep, and it's gonna be like, "Was that the
Right.
microwave?" And then his screen just goes static for like 5 seconds.
What
Yeah,
number?
better.
What number is your shit on right now, Eric?
3.
Damn.
Wow.
Dude, mine's is
The
on
amount of brain
one.
cells in this chat. Does a big dab.
Enough is enough of that.
And there is.
I hit the.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
This was a
Good night,
pleasure.
guys.
And
Thank
I
you
will
all for
see
tuning
you
in. Yeah,
in the
appreciate it, guys.
multiverse.
See you guys in the multiverse. Well, actually, I'll
See
see you
you.
in the universe. So, toodles.
And remember, the die is cast.
I
I don't know how to leave chat.
I have
How
my
do I
tradition.
do this?